Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, Obamacare's implosion, meltdown is so unbelievably off the chart, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I know they have disdain for their followers. I know they want to wreck the economy and consolidate it and wreck us like a third world nation. This is what venture, vulture, anti-capitalist monopoly men do. But I cannot even believe that they're throwing 300,000 people off their health care plans in Florida, hundreds of thousands in places like California, tens of thousands in places like Tennessee. The average premium is more than doubled. It's set to double again in the next 2 years. No one can enroll on healthcare.gov. The few idiots that thought they had just thought that they, had sent off for a Nigerian email. By the way, I've been saying this is like the Nigerian email scam for about 3 weeks, and Ted Cruz started saying that yesterday. And I know Ted Cruz's folks listen to the show, so we love it. And none of it's trademarked or copyrighted, only Infowars.com and stuff like that. So knock yourselves out. No, they're all tuning into the broadcast because that's what it is. The problem is, as I predicted, like the Nigerian email scams, folks are going to keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling down, and they're not going to get mad at Obozo and his controllers because he is Christ to them. He's Ovomit, Obozo, the guy that opens his mouth and flies fly out like it's a horror movie. Everywhere he goes, people pass out. There's a smell of sulfur in the area, reportedly. I'm not kidding. That's and flies coming out of his mouth like he's got a latrine in there or something. But for us, we hate his guts. But for the follower, I'm telling you, folks, he could stab them in the eyes with ice picks, and they would help grab his hand and ram the ice pick in, begging. Because their whole world is about being failures and losers and being conned. By the way, I walked in a restaurant last night to pick up food for my family because my wife was out, and so I was going to bring some food home. And a guy opens the door, walks out past me, and says, "Don't let this guy in here." And I thought he was joking, and then he was like bugging his eyes out at me, freaked out, and had a totally trendy gait about him and his whole demeanor and my gaydar was going off as well. And I'm not against that guy because he was, if he wasn't gay, then Liberace wasn't. But the whole point was he obviously thinks I don't like Obama, so I hate gay people, which is not the case. I mean, I'm not obsessed with it all day like the Democratic Party is and then uses it as like the new culture or whatever. I don't like it being pushed on kids. I don't like any sex being pushed on kids. I don't like jostling elders, saying reach down and help them do it. And that pervert voice of hers, we've got to help the little ones. I mean, that creeps me out. If it was an old black lady or a white guy, whatever, keep your hands off the children's, you know what? I mean, you're a bunch of government crazy people. The point is that this guy really looked at me like he wanted to attack me, like the door had swung open and there was the hostess right there and Satan himself had entered in. I'm sorry. Flies aren't landing all over me or coming out of my mouth or spontaneously combusting or generating out of my rumpus. Actually, that's where flies come from. Did you know that, kids? When Obama goes to the bathroom, just trillions of fly eggs spew out, and he sprays it all over the wall like a Pollock painting, and then bureaucrats hatch out and fly off. Okay, I got to stop right there. We have a family audience. You got the idea from the CNN bathrooms. Well, no, I didn't know that. Obama's actually been in that studio. He did that artwork. That's why they didn't remove the crap splattered all over the walls at the CNN restroom, was because that's an original. Who's the guy that paints in New York and London that people are mad when they paint over it? He's a great artist. What's his name? He does like Banksy. Yeah, you don't paint over that. You don't paint over an Obama explosive birth of flies. I mean, that's what goes on. And in fact, he's actually not Satan. He's the devil's wife, and those are his babies. All right, I'm going to stop with the potty humor. I know Karl Rove's probably listening, really enjoying it. We're going to come back, get to all the serious news, and it's serious. Stay with us.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you'll love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
All the sweet young things trying to make the scene. I think that says it all. But you've got to have a scene to make. And that's what the globalists sell, is fraud. They sell fake dreams. But to sell their fraudulent dreams, they've got to destroy the real dreams, because they don't want you to find the promised land of liberty, of individualism, of freedom. Well, folks, we are here to liberate the people and tell them you are free. Madison Avenue, Wall Street, Hollywood, the globalists are social engineers that are manipulating you and your family. And the minute you begin to figure that out and feel self-confident and stop caring what the establishment thinks and stop being cowardly, is the minute you start becoming free again. For many of you, you've never been free. You've been brought up inside the prison of mainstream television and fake plastic toxic culture. Well, I'm here, folks. I'm here to free the captives just like every other liberty lover throughout history. Nothing special about me, except that I am special because I'm a human being on a beautiful planet. And all of you are special as well. And you can become even more successful and more dynamic the minute you begin to realize that and liberate yourself from this fraudulent system. There is a revolution going on of awakening, and I want you to be part of it, especially if you're a new listener. I want to open the phones up today for people that disagree with me on Obamacare or on any of these big issues, or for folks that have any questions or comments, people that would like to be inquisitors, folks that would like to ask me questions. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231, and I will start going to your calls by the next segment, or I've instructed the crew, I think we actually will put shock bracelets on me, and they will deliver a shock, first only annoying, and then up to painful, and then lethal, if I don't go to your calls early when I give the number out. And, of course, I'm being sarcastic, but that would probably actually, just in a pure voyeuristic type situation, make more folks tune into the show to actually learn about liberty. So maybe it is a good idea if I actually wear a shock bracelet. Because, after all, Homeland Security 3 years ago, I actually had high-level meetings with the Homeland Security director looking at making all passengers wear taser bracelets that can knock you out to get on a plane. And they are now looking at that yet again, and now police departments everywhere, when they even detain you or pull you over, they're now moving to make you wear a taser bracelet or collar. Just for my safety, will you wear this while we stay right there? And you're like, you're joking. No, I'm not joking. If I told you 15 years ago they were going to take your children away from you at the airport and grab their genitals, Jocelyn Elder's dream would actually coming true, would you believe it? Would you believe that there's declassified government documents that they put hydrofluorosilicic acid and other systems of fluoride in the water to dumb you down, lower your fertility? It's all on record. I mean, if I told you they injected tens of thousands of black people with syphilis and let them spread it to hundreds of thousands dying, excruciating, tortured deaths over 45 years, would you believe it? Because it's true. Would I tell you right now they're grabbing foster kids in New York and testing pesticides on them till they die? Comes out in the New York Daily News, nobody gets in trouble. If I told you they're putting cancer viruses in all the major vaccines that are tested, would you go look it up and find out it's true? No, you wouldn't do that, because then you couldn't go get drunk after work and watch football and not care about anything. I think you should go get drunk and fight the New World Order. Anyways, I'm being sarcastic. A little bit of humor here today. Maybe I'm not. Hey, whatever it takes, folks. They used to drink some rum before they went into combat on naval ships. A couple, just a little bit, just enough to really get wild. The point here is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we need folks out there to wake up to the false bubble we've been put in, and they're now trying to force more and more people into that bubble, and there's a rebellion against that happening on a planetary scale. And I want to salute everyone who is breaking out of the matrix. Look, I don't know if we can totally trust people like Ted Cruz or Rand Paul. I believe in Rand Paul, known him for a long time, think he's a million times better than Dianne Feinstein and folks like that are coming after our guns. But regardless, we need to support them because they've got the whole system coming after them right now. The establishment Republicans, the blue bloods, the insiders. But separate from them, you know you're good. You need to run for city council. You need to run for state rep. You need to run for governor. A lot of times you'll end up reaching hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people just in the process of running for state office. Tens of thousands running for city or county office. And then if you run a couple times, you may end up winning. I'm not going to go off into solutions again. I want to give the number out, 800-259-9231. We've got a lot of news coming up today, and we have Jon Corbett, who fights the TSA his own way, getting simulated bombs through to show what a fraudulent system it is. Now he has been threatened by the Injustice Department when we published off of the federal court registry that someone inexplicably, we don't know who, published it. He can't do that. His lawyer can't do that. Someone either on purpose or by accident. I think on purpose, because there's good people inside the federal government leaking and standing up. It's happening more and more. The TSA in federal court with him in a lawsuit admitting it's not for terrorists, it's for the American people and for dog training. This is in the documents. And we actually had somebody else in tips send us the info. And then we had the same thought when this came out like a week ago. I said, hey, who's that guy that's always fighting them? We ought to get him on. This is what he said a long time ago. And then he goes, well, I don't know if I can. I just got threatened by the Justice Department. So in America, they told him he can't talk. His name's Jon Corbett, about what's public. Here's a Don Salazar's article from last week. Should have gotten national attention. It didn't get a lot of attention. Because who cares about, incredible documents getting leaked onto the federal website. And, this should be on every news channel. This should have been the top news story. DOJ censors blogger for documents they released. We put that out last Thursday. Blogger harassed by government for speaking about public documents. So we probably had him on the show 10 times over the years. And so we called to get him on. He goes, I don't know if I can. They're threatening me basically with arrest if I speak about these documents. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And again, it's not his fault the truth got released. It's got a good-looking website. That's what I want our new website to look like. Oh, that's the official TSA website. Well, no. I mean, that's actually the font we're going with and the look of the new InfoWars and the new Prison Planet. For everybody who wants to get a look at it, that's what it looks like. So when I said that's what I want, that's actually a stumbling of the words. That's actually what we're going to have. So that's a good, clean look. Folks want that. That's what they're going to get. In between all the other shenanigans going on around here, I'm trying to get that done right now with our great team. Now, with the whole IT crew and Tim Frugier and Kurt Nimmo honchoing that, but that's a side issue. That's coming up at the bottom of the next hour. Now, again, here are some of the headlines up on Infowars.com, and then I'll give you some of the DrudgeReport.com headlines where you get the most extensive coverage of the Obamacare, the Obamacare. And, I mean, this is the emperor's new clothes. I mean, this is the most butt-naked fraud openly in front of everybody I've ever even imagined. And the Democrats are now saying this is the new way. We pay double, we pay triple. It doesn't cover pre-existing. Obama won't ever talk about it at press conferences. No one even asked him. If Carney's asked about it, he just walks off the stage. And now they've got you that don't have insurance filing for your free insurance. And instead, you're just going to get your wages garnished by $5,000. That's official. So totally evil. It's like a wild animal coming into the barn thinking it's going to get some grain, a deer or something, and then there's really somebody with a crossbow up in the rafters and shoots you between the eyes. I mean, it's just pure harvesting you. The IRS calls you inventory and human resources. For the foreign banks that have absolutely enslaved and destroyed every other economy, they get their slimy mitts on. And they always put in a paramilitary to control everybody. Well, it's now official. Big states are having up to 300,000 people kicked off a week. More are coming. Millions nationwide are being kicked off their insurance and being told you got to re-up, and it's double. And you better re-up now. We'll give you discounts. It may be triple or quadruple in the next 2 years. So it shouldn't be called Obamacare. It should be called Bend Over Care. Actually, stick your head in the guillotine care. And let me tell you, their supporters, as I predicted, L-O-V-E, love it. Because they can't admit they've been conned. That's why they're failures. They are delusional. Baby, I'm sorry I broke your nose and knocked your teeth out. I guess you're a $10 whore now instead of a $500 whore. This is how he's talking to the American people. You're lucky I don't kill you and throw you in the river. Now get to work. And they get down on their knees and they say, yes, sir. And he goes, good, and just punches them right in the eye. And they say, thank you, daddy. And then he just gives them an uppercut and breaks their jaw and says, you know what, Don, take her out back, blow her head off, and throw her in the river. And get those cops on the payroll to help. They do a high five right there. They just love it. You beg for it, and you're going to get more of it, don't you worry. Homeland Security standing by, training with targets of George Washington. By the way, they pretty much are. They say that's their enemy. SEAL veteran military leaders being asked if they will disarm Americans. That headline's not even hardcore enough. SEAL veteran military training to kill Americans. And by the way, that's in the documents. I mean, they train to destroy America. And so some of the military is waking up. They should. I mean, come on.
Are you someone who forges your own trail? Are you a pioneer with the need to homestead your self-reliant entrepreneur spirit? If so, RF Bunker has a franchise opportunity for you. RF Bunker is the fastest growing emergency and survival retail store in the United States. RF Bunker franchise opportunities are leading the way for business-minded heroes seeking adventure in owning and operating their own emergency supply and survival store. Visit rfbunker.com or call 866-623-2932. This offer is not being directed to any resident of the register required states.
Did you know there are 3 million edible food plants on Earth, and none have the nutritional value of the hemp plant? HempUSA.org offers you hemp protein powder. It does not contain chemicals or THC, is non-GMO, and is 100% gluten-free. Hemp protein powder burns fat, builds muscle, contains 53% protein, and feeds the body the nutrients it needs. Call 888-910-4367 and see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you. Only at HempUSA.org.
There are those curious about Bitcoins and those using and making money with Bitcoins. What are Bitcoins? A Bitcoin is the first decentralized currency that can be easily transferred from person to person over the internet. No bank needed. This means lower fees, and accounts can never be frozen, limited, or closed. You are in control of your money. And the best part? You can start earning and making money with Bitcoins right away. No computer or expertise is required to earn money with Bitcoins, and a growing number of merchants now accept Bitcoins. Plus, they're easily exchanged for dollars, euros, and more. Learn more about the easiest, cheapest, most profitable way to enter the Bitcoin market and get paid every 2 weeks by one of the fastest growing Bitcoin miners in the world at cloudhashing.com. Just like it sounds, cloudhashing.com. That's cloudhashing.com. We mine your business.
My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only 2 ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with nascent iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of nascent iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality nascent iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
We're back. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Big news updates coming up. But first, I want to go to your calls as promised, and we're going to air that excerpt from the interview coming up where the SEAL veteran, Navy SEAL veteran, military leaders are being asked if they will disarm Americans. Litmus test includes question of whether top brass are comfortable with firing on U.S. citizens. And Watson, God bless him, he's awesome, didn't get that exactly right. I meant to call Watson about that. I think when you guys do that, I'll do some editing here on air, because I worked with him on this story last night. Watson's just a dynamo, best I've got. It wasn't top brass. Top brass are talking to NCOs. Top brass are calling in NCOs, non-commissioned officers, master sergeants and down, and asking, will you pull triggers on the American people? But, I mean, again, we already know that. It's in Forbes, the Washington Times. We broke it, Army documents. I mean, they've got public speeches that Army War College gives about this. It's just that they've always had insurrection plans. Any government should, if there was an illegitimate insurrection or whatever. This is, we're going to go after the gun owners. We're going to engage in treason. This is, your government's been taken over. We're in deep trouble. And this is what I've been hammering for 15, 16 years since I learned about this plan. I didn't know about this the first few years on air. Since I learned about, and by the way, here's the good news, and I'll go to your calls. Clinton tried this as well. It didn't fly. Now, here's the problem. When they don't succeed, they try again. That's why the globalists are winners when it comes to dominating and control. They're bad people. They're spiritual losers. But they are material, devilish, of this world winners. They are winners. Hitler was a winner until he got destroyed under the world system. Genghis Khan was a winner. Stalin was a winner. Under the devil system, they're winners. They're really losers in the final equation, but they have the knowledge of domination and control. They have the information, but not the wisdom. They don't see 50 steps down, even 5 steps down, or they don't care, or they like the destruction it brings. They like the recklessness of it. That's really the secret of where evil gets a lot of its best men, is they're not even totally evil at the end of the day. They just enjoy the black, dark flame of wickedness. It warms their soul. I know I've got a wicked streak 1 trillion miles wide, like everybody else. And but I know that knowledge is there. The point is, and I digress, is that when one looks into the abyss, be careful that you not become the abyss, as Nietzsche said. Nietzsche also said, when men cease to be men, women will become men. That's actually how it is in all mammalian lines, and that's actually coming true. And it's all been done by design, with the government as the alpha male. It is the male. The women are the beta males under the chief, under Sauron, under the New World Order. And the issue here is, this time under Obama, they've gotten the military to go a lot further. And they've set up Homeland Security, and they've got it trained and flipped from fighting al-Qaeda, as we always told you it wasn't for al-Qaeda, to right on to George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Wayne, Mom Apple Pie, private property, the family. I mean, it's all denounced publicly. They should all be arrested for the ADL, Southern Poverty Law Center, propaganda that they have not even rewritten and adopted as official in-service training for all police. That if you're friendly to the police, you're a terrorist. If you're mean to the police, you're a terrorist. If you're mad about being searched, you're a terrorist. How about you're just not a slave? How about the people doing this are the terrorist? How about the globalists hijacking our country and shutting off our industry? How about you're the terrorist? We're going to break, short segment. I'm coming back, rampaging through your calls. It's just, I start thinking about how close we are to totally imploding into martial law, mass arrest, and tyranny. But also how close we are to having this blow up in their face politically and reversing it and gaining a bunch of ground back. That's why you have to believe there are good people in the system, because I know they are. You've got to be cynical. You've got to go after folks that are bad, but you've also got to give people a chance, like Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and others that are trying to do the best job they can. If we own them, if we take them over, if we support them, they will be ours. They will have backup from us, and they will be the men I know Rand Paul is. Up in that barrel of snakes. Could you go up there and not sell out? I will guarantee you there are very few that couldn't. I will assure you that I could go there and not sell out. But it would be hard. Believe me, it would be hard. Very hard. Very hard. They have ways. And the point here is that, but don't just count on folks like that. You have to become the William Barrett Travis politically. You have to become the George Washington. And believe me, you've got the mettle it takes to do it. But we're on the razor's edge. It could go either way, and that's what's so dynamic, frustrating, horrifying, invigorating, dynamic, exciting about it. Wow, can you feel it? We have entered the zone, the crossroads, the fulcrum, the jump point. We are now in that magic place. I'm Alex Jones. Stay with me.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Financial experts are certain that within 12 to 36 months, the American economy will collapse, pushing most Americans into terrifying poverty, like third world slums. Facing this unstoppable horror and knowing so many are unprepared, a group of military vets, engineers, survival experts, and a former FDIC bank inspector pooled their knowledge and experience to create LocustsOnTheHorizon.com. Locusts on the Horizon is a book over 1,100 pages in length, which many are now calling one of the best of its kind. And this book can save families from the worst an economic collapse can bring. The lives of your family are priceless, and you can start your plan to save them today for only $4.99. Not many preppers can actually afford a survival retreat, but virtually anyone can afford to implement the plan of Locusts on the Horizon. Locusts on the Horizon is available now for only $4.99 on Amazon.com, and it's readable with free software on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Your time is running out. To not prepare would be suicide. Prepare now at LocustsOnTheHorizon.com. That's LocustsOnTheHorizon.com.
When an emergency happens, you'll be left to fend for yourself and your family. An outbreak of contagious disease can happen anywhere, and the threat of bioterrorism is always at hand. Because we're faced with more diseases than ever before, we need a better solution than ever before. Fortunately, there's a simple, effective way to protect yourself. Supernatural Silver offers a safe and effective means of fighting pathogens and can help defeat the root of these problems. Supernatural Silver is effective against more than 500 different disease-causing pathogens without encouraging drug resistance and without side effects. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and give you and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code October 2013 for 20% off your entire order and like us on Facebook.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
Suddenly a man starts acting strangely. He starts saying, "I'm God, I'm in charge." LAX police arrest that man, and he turns out to be a TSA agent. "I am God, I'm in charge, I'm in charge.
I have power, I have power, I have power."
Yeah, we gotta take the power back!
You want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
We gotta take the power back! Come on! We gotta take the power back!
Pulled the pants down, they went down around my ankles.
Classic curriculum, I put my fist in them. Eurocentric, every last one of them. See right through the red, white, and blue disguise. Lecture up, puncture the structure of life. Dove in our minds and attempted to...
All right, folks, I want to go directly to your phone calls, and then the bombshell truth up on Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, but it's so nicely lined up at DrudgeReport.com where you can just read all of the... Never has government engaged in this open of fraud and corruption and evil. You know, like Hitler tortured people and killed them secretly, Stalin, Mao, you know, they at least didn't just admit what they were doing. But see, they've got their lemmings under mind control, and they love it. 300,000 dropped from health care plans in Florida alone. Sebelius, Obama did not know. Of course, the dear leader never knows anything, and talking bad about dear leader gets you sent to a gulag, as all the liberals, the authoritarians, have been caught in public saying arrest those they disagree with. New York Times, White House to blame. Frustration grows among Democrats. Update, judge will not issue injunction to stop it. No, it will only increase. Carney ducks questions. We have video and audio of that. Walks out of the press briefing. The press dared ask, weeks into it, why it wasn't working. Obama's given multiple press conferences and no one dare ask, dear leader. I'm not a computer expert, he said. Urgent White House meeting with insurance chiefs. They're like, listen, you're supposed to rape everybody and give us all the money, but, I mean, this is making us look bad, dummy. Obama campaign raises money off debacle. That's right. CBS News slams the pricing. And Kit Daniels broke this last night. They had a list on healthcare.gov hidden that programmers could find. This was supposed to, under law, be published, so they just had it hidden. I guess so compliance, it's there if you have a tech guru who knows how to scan it all and a hacker to find it, basically. But here's the article. Obamacare hidden spreadsheet shows premium rates for every health plan in your area. And it's, thousands and thousands of counties, sub-districts. That's up on Infowars.com, right under the other articles. Fox host, all hell could break loose on November 1st when they start cutting back the food stamp digital systems, the EBT. Obamacare, Colorado Marketplace pushes brochurance. As long as it's trendy, it doesn't exist, it's still cool. Obamacare, failure and fascism, a Kurt Nimmo article. And then we've got Obamacare hidden spreadsheet I just mentioned. How much longer can Obama and Carney and Sebelius keep up the delusion? I don't know. The Soviet Union lasted almost 80 years, probably a long time. The population control agenda is being relentlessly pushed in American public schools. Well, what do you think Obamacare is for? John McAfee, exclusive, how he escaped from Belize. Kind of a prelude to the 50 caliber shooting. Him freehand shooting along with myself, Shane Steiner, and others. That's going to exclusively air on the InfoWars Nightly News tonight. It is the most incredible gun footage I have ever seen. When Shane Steiner, at about 200 yards, is hand-holding about 175 yards, hand-holding the 50, and he empties 2 clips of 10 rounds with the Barrett, and it's the heavy Marine Corps version, and he line of sight misses the first shot and then like pounds 9 into this dead tree, like pieces of it blowing off, and then loads another, misses again, but uses it like line of sight because I forgot it's tracers too. But it's daytime, so it looks like white laser beams. And then we had these exploding armor-piercing ones. It's just amazing. I love America. That's all I can say. Oh, my gosh. The problem was my back was already out. And I got to go to a chiropractor right after the show because I don't think, my dad checked it this morning. He's pretty smart. He said, yeah, I got one of my discs bulging out. It's all swollen back here. And of course, I was the first to shoot it. When you see me get up there, I don't know what's going to go on freehand because I've shot, single shot grizzly quite a bit freehand. But it wasn't even as bad a kick except holding it out there. I had it into my side. And so I kind of blew my back out extra. That's a new back therapy. Go shoot like 30 rounds yourself, freehand with a Barrett 50 cal long barrel, and then grab the Coast Guard Navy version and fire it some, and then grab M4s, emptying clips, and then Desert Eagle 44s, and then you get a Navy SEAL 308 Reaper and fire that. And then, I'm sorry, I said I'd go to your phone calls, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I realize why I'm feeling so good. I just love shooting guns, and I love watching the video of it. When this comes out, I will guarantee you people are going to want to watch it 20 times. I just want to go back there. And I always never said I petted guns and, like, got into them themselves. It's like shooting in self-defense and hunting and stuff. I actually, with these 50s, instead of like Smog the Dragon sits on piles of gold, I may actually create a man cave somewhere where I just lay around on piles of 50 calibers and Lapuas and brass. Because I do think it almost like a dragon sits on gold because it makes them more clairvoyant. I think I might need to sit on piles of high caliber weapons. All right. I think MSNBC will have a heyday with that. I'm just being honest. Anyways, okay, we're going to go to your phone calls here. All hell's breaking loose, obviously, with the power structure right now. I don't actually believe I'm going to become more clairvoyant sitting on a pile of 50 calibers. Actually, I do, but for the proviso, I'm being more sarcastic there. Right now, let's go ahead and go to your phone calls. I apologize for ranting. I'm going to callers earlier than usual. Jeff in Texas, you're on the air, sir, and welcome to the airwaves.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I want to congratulate you on your fine work and your fine crew. You guys are doing a great job. You're keeping everybody informed, and that's what needs to happen.
Well, we're red-blooded, and we're alive, and we're not giving into the spirit of the New World Order to roll over and die. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, it is disgusting the way the state-run media demonizes Rand Paul and Cruz. These guys are out there fighting for our liberties, and we need to stand behind them, as you mentioned earlier.
I agree, and I'm not bashing Kurt Nimmo, who wrote an article about it yesterday, because I respect Kurt and he's a smart guy, but he just declaratively thinks that their double agents are going to stab us in the back, and I just don't think there's enough evidence of that, especially with Rand Paul, that I've known for 17, 18 years. Interviewing him and stuff for his dad when his dad was running for Congress. I'm probably one of the first people to ever interview Rand Paul, and I just know he's for real. Now, they may compromise him, especially... You know how a lot of people get compromised? They try to do the right thing, and then people don't back them. And then they go, well, if you're not going to help me, then okay, I will join Darth Vader. You know, and so that's what I'm saying. And I almost thought about getting Kurt in today because he wrote an article about it yesterday. I thought it was a pretty good article overall, except I don't think you could. I think you could say we need to watch out, hold their feet to the fire, make sure they're good. But regardless, let's say they weren't even good or perfect. Who is? The idea of that, of a libertarian movement taking over the Republican Party, has the Republican leadership scared to death. And Kurt wrote the article saying that's what I really disagree with in the article, and Kurt can come in here later if he wants to debate it with me, is that what I really disagree with is saying that when Karl Rove and the Republican leadership and John McCain go after them, that's some type of foil because they're really double agents. No, they hate them, and they don't want them taking over the Republican Party. I mean, I know the highest levels of Democratic connections, Republican connections. These people hate each other, folks. They're all battling for control. Different Democratic groups hate the Clintons. The Clintons are still at the top of the heap because they've got all the blackmail info. I'm telling you, Rand Paul is good, Ted Cruz is good, and we need to make them continue to be good. We would have gotten our guns restricted and probably a civil war if it wasn't for them in the Senate. I mean, we ought to literally be very thankful. But regardless, we can take the idea of those guys and prototype that to have everybody run at the state level and take the country back. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. Go ahead.
Here's the way I feel. With MSNBC and the way they demonized you, that you had ties to the Boston bombings, it just made me sick. Okay, I was just like...
Yeah, but some logic would say that means I'm bad because they're really trying to promote me. No, they're trying to destroy me. They don't have private detectives digging around in my life because they want to give me kisses. I mean, you know, again, I've had the experience of being famous, being well-known, knowing I'm totally real, and people just not believing that anyone could be real. And that's a problem with the corruption. You got a bunch of things going on here. But on one end of it, things are so corrupt, and Obama is pimping people publicly so bad and abusing them. We see sheep-like followers that blindly follow, so then we don't believe anybody could be good. And see, then that's the other extreme of then trusting nothing and just pulling out of everything instead of taking over. See, I know history. I know we can take over and restore things. And there's going to be problems. The same corruption's going to pop right back up again. It's an eternal fight. Just like sucking air into your lungs, just like raising kids, just like getting out of bed. Life is about your eyes going bad and your back going out and still getting up and still living, and the kids doing the dog crapping on the floor and going to the grocery store and going and helping your family and going to old family members when they die and burying them. It's all about a struggle. And success in life is the struggle and being alive and being involved and being honorable and being an example for others. That's what I'm saying. And I don't blame people that are cynical. But I'm telling you, you out there who are leaders, you know you're good, so get out there and take action. Go ahead, sir. I'm ranting.
Oh, that's okay. I was an NCO in the Army back in 1980 to 89. I was in the Special Weapons Department and nuclear, biological, and chemical defense trainer out there at Fort Hood. And I think the military's waking up to what's going on. I saw Obama's speech last night on the YouTube. It just, I don't know how this guy expects to pull this off. How do they expect to pull it off, Alex? The way they're treating people.
I've got to be honest. I think they're going to start a major war. They already tried it in Syria. And they're going to stage false flags and blame us. And our job is to get that info out so that our people are everywhere. When they stage it, we'll instantly be able to get the intel out, like the Boston bombing, like the other cases. And it may be a real terror attack like Major Hamid, out at Fort Hood. Notice how that guy was protected for 2 years. The CIA was watching him. Defense intelligence was watching him. And they were ordered to let him do it. And that came out and got classified national security. So they've got all sorts of stuff where they could hit one button and basically covert special ops type teams, private contractors, Muslim sheep-dipped extremists, you name it. They hit one button and they could just absolutely run a special forces operation of destabilization against us. And the thing is, and then have the police stand down under Homeland Security and let the establishment take hostages. Let the establishment put on these big events to then draw attention from everything else. But the answer is what the Interpol chief said, which is definitely a major move and a rebellion within the power structure, saying the only way to stop radical Islam or other groups hijacking and taking hostages is arm the people. The guy's talking like George Washington yesterday. Believe me, they're going to come after him. But the point is we have to then stand with him. Okay, that's what it's about. As stuff gets worse and worse, you're going to see the people you thought were good are going to turn bad. Folks you thought were bad, you're going to learn were good. People that you thought were okay are going to really get even better or worse. And we're going to see who people are. Okay, right now, we're going to really see where people stand, where they are, where they're going, what they do. Because this is a historical period happening right now. It might be a financial collapse. They don't care if Obama gets the blame for it. He's their ringer. He's their closer. He's their closing pitcher. Just like they've had closers in other countries. They'll bring a new puppet in. So we need to explain it's not just Obama. It's these big banks financing to get our guns. God bless you, brother. Good to hear from you. Man, I'm fired up today. I don't know what's going on. Let's talk to Cyrus in California. You're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Alex, how you doing, man? I just want to say, I always thought it was some kind of BS that you were trying to sell this iodine, And my wife goes, why don't you just try it, Because I was blabbing to her about it, blah, 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 blah. Alex is always talking about this. I'm getting sick of listening to it. Man, it changed my life. I ate every word I said because it changed my life, bro.
Well, listen, I want to be clear. It can detox you and make you feel really bad. We've had medical doctors and others on about it. You should go check with your medical doctor. Listen, this is certified at the National Academy of Sciences, all this stuff. I had it checked. This is the only type of nascent iodine like this out there with a special patented deal with Russian scientists. I didn't even know when I looked into all this. Dr. Groop's dad's like one of the most famous chemists. Groop himself is amazing. And this is just one of the key things people need. So if I'm going to come out with something and put my name on it, it's going to be the best. The problem is that they are manufacturing a bunch of it in the laboratory with all this special equipment, and they never imagined that we would sell out of it this quick. So, and I didn't tell you to call in. Folks will think that. We didn't screen your call. It's wide open phones. But yes, folks can pre-order it. It should be out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We can ship it out to you. Other folks already ordered. You're getting it right now or already got it. Survival Shield, nascent iodine. It's very, very special. But then there's other stuff like if you can't even afford this, the next best thing is Himalayan salts, which you can buy for $5 at the store. I mean, I also say get that. I'm not selling Himalayan salts. Don't have stock in it. So, there you go. Tell folks what it did to you.
Well, I was feeling real lethargic. I've always been a big guy. I lost a bunch of weight when I was 29, 30 years old. And, I was feeling better, but I haven't gained the weight back. But I was feeling real lethargic. I couldn't get out there. I had to, it was basic stuff. Like I've always worked with my hands, and I had to go outside and dig some fence posts, and I was feeling really tired of just digging a few holes, just getting real tired. And, I went to the doctor and he said, they couldn't tell me anything that was wrong. They just said, you're getting old. They did all my blood work. They did, they checked all my levels. According to them, I was fine. But for me, I wasn't feeling so great. So I was looking for something, I exercise every day. I try to eat real right.
And so what happened when you took it? Because here's the deal. I'm not even plugging this because I don't want it to have too many back orders. I mean, it's a victim of our own success. The issue is we have all the government documents. I showed them yesterday, the studies. They knew over 100 years ago about iodine. They knew it was key. The government, back when they weren't pure evil, put iodine, the cruddy chemical type, because it was what they had, but it's better than nothing, in the salt. And then by the 30s and 40s, they took it out and then started putting fluoride in the water because it's on the periodic table is what zombifies you. I mean, I have medical studies from 100 years ago that use the term zombification, because that was the term they used. Look at the public. They are zombies. I mean, on the periodic table, the bromine, the bromide, the fluoride, the chlorine, that's what you get in your glands. And of course people can't. Americans used to be the most vicious, smartest, most aggressive. People were so polite because if you mess with somebody, they would kill you. Men were constantly out in the street stabbing and shooting each other. So everybody was so polite because we were just crazed. We were like the meanest, toughest people from the whole world that came here, swashbucklers. And now we're the fattest, dumbest, laziest, lowest IQ, highest cancer rates. They're chemical warfaring us. It's survival shield. But you can't get it, so get Himalayan salts. Why do you think they tell you don't have a fat diet? Why do you think they tell you don't get salt? The good salt, because they want you bowing down to them. I know why I'm so crazed. And it doesn't matter. They can shut me down. Doesn't matter. The secret's already out. Other people are going to put it out. That's actually part of my plan, too. I hope a bunch of competition figures it out and comes out with it. I don't care. I want to empower humanity. How long have you been on the iodine? A month or so?
I think it's been about 6 weeks.
And well, God bless you, sir. I appreciate your call. Anyways, I'm telling you. There's a reason they spray it on almost all the processed foods, not just as a pesticide when it's being grown. Then they add it at 300 parts per million. 1.5 part per million will turn you into a vegetable. I mean, they're just murdering us and giggling while they do it, while they're guzzling iodine.
When an emergency happens, you'll be left to fend for yourself and your family. An outbreak of contagious disease can happen anywhere, and the threat of bioterrorism is always at hand. Because we're faced with more diseases than ever before, we need a better solution than ever before. Fortunately, there's a simple, effective way to protect yourself. Supernatural Silver offers a safe and effective means of fighting pathogens and can help defeat the root of these problems. Supernatural Silver is effective against more than 500 different disease-causing pathogens without encouraging drug resistance and without side effects. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and give you and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code October 2013 for 20% off your entire order and like us on Facebook.
Are you prepared for disasters, job loss, and uncertain times? Make Emergency Essentials your first stop for premier food storage and emergency preparedness supplies. Compare our food storage ounce to ounce, and it's easy to see. Emergency Essentials has the best quality and lowest priced emergency food storage guaranteed. Call Emergency Essentials at 800-999-1863 today or visit beprepared.com. The choice is clear. Be unprepared or beprepared.com.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
you're under chemical and biological and radiological attack. And the globalists have all written documents bragging about it. So let's join hands and expose the man and wake up and empower humanity. Get our swords in our hands politically and charge in. You fire your musket, but I run you through. And when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand. There is no turning back. You're alive in the universe, and you were born, you're going to live, you're going to die. Embrace it. Stop living in fear. People think I get up here and talk about all this horrible stuff to scare people. No, it's so you'll do something about it. By the way, folks, if you go up to Infowars.com, we were linked to the federal website where the government, on purpose or accidentally, posted the information that we showed earlier, dealing with the TSA admitting that it's not for terrorism what they do, but for slave training. They have now pulled that off the federal website. And I just instructed my guys, I don't want that on my server. You can find out where it is somewhere else, like one of the big Scrib or whatever, and link to it there. But where's the mainstream media? You would think, this has been out since last Thursday, you would think the government trying to gag a blogger, and I guess next it'll be us, from talking about this stuff that they put out, this war on the press, this war on whistleblowers, you would think that that would be national news. But no, they just take it down and ignore Infowars.com, and it doesn't matter. Let's just go on with the fraud of the TSA takeover. With the TSA coming out yesterday, the TSA coming out and saying, oh, we track you at your job, outside your house, with the threat fusion centers. Of course, it's the link up with the healthcare, with the government training camps, the public schools, the colleges, the businesses, with InfraGard. Everyone's spying on everybody except the criminals that run the whole system. They're under national security, and how dare you even ask a question of the TSA? We will arrest you. How dare the media pull up to the front gates of the NSA and ask to talk to their public information? Oh, give me your cameras. You don't aim a camera at us. Why, we have privacy. I mean, we're the government. How dare you? Since the TSA doesn't like it and their whole takeover of the economy, let's have a Don's article reposted to the front page since he's coming up from last Thursday. All right. Let's go ahead and go to another caller. Corey in Minnesota, you're on the air, active duty National Guard. Have you been told by your NCOs, get ready to take those guns and put a bullet in mommy for Obama?
You know what? That was the reason I was trying to call in yesterday, Alex. Is we did actually a beta test for all the military and police that are standing here, probably listening to the lines right now. We actually implemented a little system here. I'm not actually from Minnesota. I just didn't want to do the state because of
Let's just say you're from the former United States of America in a FEMA region.
There you go. I'm up in the Northeast FEMA region then. Here's the issue, Alex. We did a beta test after you had that master sergeant on the active duty one down in, I believe it was Texas, with the firearms issue, and it really touched my heart, especially when you put that article up today on the Navy SEAL stating that.
C.J. Grisham.
We did a beta test.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we did a beta test here up in the Northeast region, and we went out to all the units and in all the armories, and you guys can all do this too, at your police headquarters, at your Army base, wherever you're at. Every person knows that there's a safety board and a bulletin board that has memorandums from either your commander and or your police chief. So what we did was we went out and we copied the entire Bill of Rights Constitution, and here's the beta test for everybody to really see who is on board with this and who is not. We posted it up to the safety board, up to the bulletin board, and up to the main board on all the command headquarters. And we put the Bill of Rights, the NDAA Act.
Hold on, stay there. I want to hear what happened when we came back. Don't hang up. Second hour coming up.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, we're going to be breaking down the biblical level gang rape. That's what I call it. It's what it is, by the global mafia of the American people. And they're just getting started squeezing us until we wake up, stop caring what Hollywood says, and become humans again. Until we pop the Matrix bubble. But we were just talking to Corey, who's active duty National Guard in the Northeast. So I guess he's in FEMA Region 1 or 2 of the former United States. And he recap everything you just said. This is very noteworthy. So start over, sir. Go ahead.
All right, Alex. What we did was we beta tested to basically give an idea to not only people at work, because obviously some of us are talking about this constantly. We're up to date on all the situations arising, not only within the states here in the Northeast, but we started noticing mission changes to where a memorandum came out to where DHS is now in basic complete control of the National Guard in an escalation of force / an emergency. So we have guys that were starting to question this, so we decided to beta test on all the safety bulletin boards, and a few of the police departments have been doing it here because we want to figure out who's on board with this and who's not. So we put up not only the Bill of Rights and Constitution up on all the safety bulletin boards, but also the main commanding bulletin boards around the units to see who is going to take them down, who is going to give us basically some ruckus. And mind you, I am an NCO. I love my job. Love the people I have, my daughter, my family, and we basically we were seeing the routing out of who's actually pulling this stuff down, Alex. And forgive me for a second.
It sounds like you're pretty freaked out. No, it's scary to know we've been infiltrated by actual foreign bank operatives. I mean, this is legend. What's happening to this country? I mean, this is the takedown of America. What are you seeing happening when you post the Bill of Rights and Constitution?
The commanders are at their discretion because of the tags, and specifically basically the adjutant general. They're taking them off, and we're basically trying to fight back through JAG. Forgive me for a moment.
It's so evil. I know. I would cry too. I've cried many times.
No, it's just sad.
Now again, you've sworn an oath to this, and
next to it, Alex.
And you can put a thing up about oh, wow. You can put up a thing about a softball game, that's fine, but you don't put up the Bill of Rights. But please continue, sir.
So what we did was we started figuring out, hey, who's making this come down here? And Jag said it was completely constitutional. You do that, and some of them are on point with this. And it all came down to, like I said, through mission changes, and I'll even publicly state it on air. You can all go to your governors and your National Guard and to your tag in your state, which is the adjutant general for your National Guard, and you can ask them why they gave authority to the Department of Homeland Security over the National Guard and why the mission is now changing to gang insurrections, Alex. Why would they be doing that now? If there's not a timeline and sequence for the next 6 months, you know damn well what it is. But why is it now turning to not only the gang insurrections that they're focusing on for mission? Now you're understanding why these commanders are starting to get the memos, including the upper echelon of NCOs, of why you would fire on Americans.
And I hope people realize this is deadly serious. They could nuke a city.
Can you please do an article on this? Because it's scaring the shit out of us up here.
Well, you better, everybody better be concerned. That's what I'm telling people. They are training to literally put us in FEMA camps. I mean, folks have to understand this. The most evil people you can imagine are in control. Homeland Security has always been to destroy the country. It is the guillotine. Use the thing analogy. It's the thing that absorbs America and that acts like it. Okay, and so, yes, we'll do an article on it. We need folks to take photos of the board. Well, you can't take photos of the board because it'll have stuff you don't want out. We need people to document this, and we need people to start going public. It's the only way we're going to blow this operation wide open, is that you're going to have to start going public, and you're going to have to start getting it to the press, getting it to us. We're under total surveillance, obviously. But the surveillance goes both ways. They classify most of the surveillance on us because they don't want the rest of the military seeing what we say. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
With over 3,000 years of historic use, pure silver continues to be one of nature's most reliable and effective agents against fighting viruses, mold, fungus, bacteria, pathogens, and parasites. At Silver Lungs, we have developed a reliable and easy-to-use full production system for creating endless pure nano-silver solutions right from the convenience and comfort of your home. Your self-produced nano-silver solutions can be applied topically to the skin. For many who are new to silver that wish to try silver for the first time, we offer a full line of consumables and cosmetics, such as our 2-ounce nano-silver nasal sprays, our nano-silver soap, and our most popular product, the all-natural nano-silver gel. Visit www.silverlungs.com to learn more about the industry-leading technology of the Silver Lungs system. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
In America, a teen has now been arrested for a water pistol game. In Florida, a green water pistol. They are now kicking children out of school if their neighbor sees them playing with a Nerf gun in the backyard. This is America. This is mind control. They're now banning the word brown bags and saying you'll be fired. It's racism in Seattle. This is mind control. Now, you'll remember back on July 17th, 2012, a year ago, troops ordered to kill all Americans who do not turn in their guns. And we have government documents in that special 21-minute report that has millions of views, by the way, 2,888,000+. We break all of that down on InfoWars Nightly News. We need the information we're covering right now to get 100 million views. And I'm going to take the call from earlier today, cut it in with the Navy SEAL on record yesterday, who said that the officers he knows NCOs are called in and told your new mission is fighting the American people, shooting them during gun confiscation. Now, we have Forbes, Reuters, AP, all off documents we got that are public, that the Army is preparing civilian inmate labor camps. That's declassified. Slave labor camps. I mean, I'm giving the media the terms. Civilian inmate labor camps, the National Emergency Centers Act, that just increases funding for what's already there. And I'm not trying to scare you. Okay, we had a non-commissioned officer on named Corey, and we're going to our guest, who started crying earlier. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I've cried here on air. I can't help it. I start getting so sad for America and so freaked out how far we've fallen that I will start crying involuntarily. It's like getting a call and saying your grandfather just died. I mean, it's not even scary. It's horrible. In fact, I start conjuring up those feelings, and I get chills. I mean, it's so real. I know I'm right. I've got hundreds of documents, and yuppies point at me on the street and laugh and go, there's the guy warning. And I'm like, I care about these people. They want to break America. They want to bring in a disarmed world government. There's only 6 or 7 countries where you can own guns in the world, folks. The U.S., Switzerland. And I get so freaked out knowing that, I mean, I went to the urban warfare drills before we had the documents 15, 16 years ago where they were trying to take our guns. And they grew it under Clinton, and now under Obama, they're rolling it out, and they're going operational with TV and movies and dramas and sitcoms where the gun owners are being arrested, where the gun owners are the bad guys, where you arrest the Tea Party people, and then top generals come out and say, no, we are preparing to fight them. They are the threat, not al-Qaeda, and the head of Homeland Security says it. It's public. And now the military, down to the privates, are getting the riot training, the gun confiscation training. It's now gone past the non-commissioned officers, and now they're freaking out, going, this is really real. Alex didn't lie to us, and they're breaking down. He started crying earlier, not out of fear. I know why. It's really freaky to know that the officers above them are globalist operatives, and if they put up the Bill of Rights, Constitution, and their oath on the wall, it's all pulled down, folks, including the oath. I have state police on video pull over a woman who has a pocket Constitution and arrest her for it, and they get scared by the Constitution. Because they're not even bad people. They're brainwashed, and they think, well, if the Constitution's bad, even though they swore an oath, it must be a bad person. Instead of admitting they were wrong and that the people telling them this are obviously evil, they go, okay, it's bad, and they buy into it. That's how tyranny works. A lot of Hitler's top people really worked 18 hours a day and believed they were good, and believe they were doing a holy mission. Same thing with the communists. Because they, by successive approximation, they cannot admit their mission is wrong, so they buy into anything. We're going to go to our guest, but I wanted to let Corey, calling from FEMA Region 1, who's a non-commissioned officer, they did a test at bases all over. They put up on the bulletin board where you can put up softball games, whatever, the Bill of Rights, Constitution, and their oath, and they've talked to JAG above it and say, no, you should do that. And so now it's causing a debate, and they're identifying, and you sound pretty freaked out. Sir, 2 more minutes, and we're going to our guest, who I appreciate holding. Tell us, sir, who himself has been threatened basically with arrest by Homeland Security for free speech. I mean, this is bombshell we're about to cover. I mean, this is happening. They're already persecuting the Tea Party with the IRS, folks. If you knuckle under in fear, they win. They take it all. You're going to have to man up, folks. Sir, any other points you want to make? Why did you start breaking down? Let me guess. Did they take down the Bill of Rights, Constitution at most of the bases?
One of the things that, Alex, definitely, it's not anywhere. And one of the big things that I brought up that's been bothering me ever since Iraq in 2007, it's ever since I've been in the military, almost 9 years now, not a single commander, both Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or Connecticut, has come out in front of their troops, including the first sergeants, which I thought the NCO Corps was the backbone of the Army. But these guys are so focused on their careers that they won't have their commanders come out and read the Constitution, give a current events to their soldiers to see why we're going to Afghanistan and Iraq still, Bahrain, down
But now, and of course in the past, for those that don't know, even 15 years ago, that was always read, and they always told you there could be a day when bad people take over the government, because it always happens, like third world nations. But instead, I mean, let me specifically, what are the numbers? How many places did they pull down the Constitution?
It's got to be at least 7 armories right now, and that's why I've talked to Jag about it, because it's garbage, because even aviation warrant officers and stuff like that are getting in on this. I know you know about the A-10s that left, Connecticut, I believe, back in 2002, went up to Massachusetts. They had a whole aviation wing that was up against, even for 9/11, because of stuff that was coming down. I mean, it goes back that far, but you're really, really seeing the insurrection here amongst these 3 states here up in the Northeast region. And we have a question for the tag, because we want to know: are you for your troops? Are the commanders for the troops? Obviously, our numbers aren't that big up here, but it's a serious question. And when you start pulling stuff down, when we want to get the word out about this, don't make it secret about how DHS is trying to hold back their memorandums for meetings upon meetings, just to give this word that DHS is going to have control of the National Guard during an emergency preparedness / exercise or event here. The writing's on the wall, Alex, and that's what really got
Well,
me.
let's be clear. Let's be clear with the public. This isn't rumors. We had the Navy SEAL on yesterday who said, no, the non-commissioned officers are being told, prepare for war against America. We're going to confiscate the guns. That's up on Infowars.com. And you can go out, and it's in the mainstream news that they're saying the Founding Fathers are bad, the Tea Party is the enemy, not Al-Qaeda, and our government's arming Al-Qaeda in Syria while training to take us on. God bless you. And look, don't let them ever say you're not following orders or you're bad. These people aren't just misguided. These are enemy agents, just like a Soviet infiltration. But it's a corporate infiltration, so that makes it okay. No, it's not. This is the takeover. And this is the key time right now. God bless you. The military's 80% awake now, though. I mean, they really jumped the shark on this one. They really did, folks, because they're telling them, those non-commissioned officers, you ready to kill people in America? You ready to take the guns? And they're like, what? What? All this stuff is true? And then the military's going and researching and finding all the public stuff? You're blown. Your operation's blown. Now, I want to shift gears to the TSA. Let's put the article on screen. This man needs our support. Internal TSA documents, body scanners, pat-downs, not for terrorists. And then the update article. This gentleman we have on, this is a public document they put out. They've now removed it off the federal website, saying that they admit that the TSA is not for terrorists, but it's just basically for currency controls and internal checkpoints. And then now they've come out and censored him. That's the article. They've come out and told Jon Corbett that they're going to arrest him or gag order him or whatever if he talks about TSA outofourpants.wordpress.com, if he talks about a document somebody released that they weren't supposed to release. Unprecedented censorship of the press. Sir, you're on the air. Thank you for coming on with us. Give us your take on this, Jon Corbett.
Well, it's quite interesting. So you guys published that doc, and the next day I got a call from the court and from the opposing counsel, the U.S. Attorney's Office, basically telling me that I'm the only person in the world that's not allowed to talk about this document, because even though it's public, it's technically sealed, which is an interesting take on it.
That's right. I mean, this is the war on the press or the war on the citizen, free speech. Unprecedented. Tell us who called you. You warned her. You said, don't you know about the Streisand effect? Tell folks about that.
Correct. So after I got the call to stop talking, I asked the U.S. Attorney, I said, this is public. This is on InfoWars. It's got millions of people looking at it already. If I stop talking about it and I censor myself and I take it down, it's just going to have more people looking at it. But the U.S. Attorney didn't seem to understand perhaps how mass media works, how internet works, and it's going to backfire on them. It has already backfired.
Continue breaking this down.
Sure. So it all started when I filed a brief in my case against the TSA's nude body scanners and their pat-downs. And the brief was based on a bunch of private documents that the TSA had to provide me as a result of my case. The court ordered me not to share them, and I followed the court's orders to the letter by filing a sealed brief, which the court then promptly published publicly by accident. It was an interesting scandal up there at the 11th Circuit, and now they're backpedaling. They're trying to cover this up. They're trying to take the documents down. But the documents are quite embarrassing. I still can't talk about what's in them, but your listeners and viewers can definitely go to your website to find the documents.
That's right. We're linked to Scrib on there on the website. We're going to come back, and I know in America you're not allowed to talk just because they called you and they're God. And usually you'd say, well, you got free speech. You can talk about something they put out publicly. But in the new system where they have armored vehicles and killers standing by, at this point, till we take America back, you cannot talk about the document that they released on accident because, well, they have guns and they have armored vehicles. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
To thank you for being a loyal listener, we have a limited time freebie offer for you. Claim your free heirloom tomato seeds, just pay shipping, right now at 123freeseeds.com. These aren't ordinary seeds. These are heirloom, non-genetically modified super seeds that are open pollinated and can be grown, harvested, and replanted endlessly. These survival seeds are actually more valuable than gold in a crisis. Go to 123freeseeds.com and you can get an airtight storage packet of 150 super seeds free while supplies last to say thank you for being a loyal listener. First come, first served. Just cover shipping. Go to 123freeseeds.com now to see if your free heirloom seeds are still available. That's 123freeseeds.com.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Come, you masters of war, you that build the big guns, you that build the death planes, you that build all the bomb.
Well, we have Jon Corbett, thought criminal, in the year 2013. In a federal court case, the TSA admitted in testimony. The documents are linked up on Infowars.com. They've taken it off Pacer.gov. Both the redacted and the unredacted one. So the one they accidentally put out and the one that by law is supposed to be out, they've pulled that. Because the TSA is admitting it's all a total fraud, the body scanners, everything. And our guest has been threatened with arrest if he talks about the document, because I guess they see him at TSA out of our pants as their #1 enemy. Jon Corbett, why are you following this verbal threat by the Commissar? And who is the Commissar? Or can you even tell us her name? I mean, her name is in the article.
Sure. So the opposing attorney is with the Department of Justice. Her name is Sharon Swingle. She works on many TSA cases. And I'm following it because I'm essentially being indirectly threatened with a criminal contempt of court charge, potentially a felony that could send me to jail. So in the meantime, to clear things up, I've asked the court to clarify whether or not I can now talk about this document, which is public. And it's interesting that you actually brought up that the redacted version, the one that's supposed to be public, has been taken down as well. And I think the reason for that is that the TSA demanded that they get a chance to review that document before it goes public, which is some kind of right that they've taken unto themselves. The idea that opposing counsel can demand to review a document before it's posted to the docket.
Sure. What do you make of your little friends now announcing, it was in the Associated Press yesterday, that they're spying on where you work, what you buy, what you do? NSA spying just mainlined. Now the TSA are on the streets and are watching everybody. They are the secret police.
Yeah, it's something that we should have seen coming, and you and I did see coming, I'm sure, Alex. But the TSA started the Secure Flight program, whereby they take everyone's name and try and do things against a background check. And I don't know if everyone that's listening knows, but the TSA gets all of that information from the airlines well in advance. So when you book a ticket, that information gets to the TSA well before, days before you ever get to
the airlines get the Google stuff, what you surf, what you do, where you work. So basically, what size diaphragm you use. The TSA person doesn't just get a photo of your breast and your body or your tallywhacker. They get everything. They even know what brand of medicine you buy, which I think they should know. I think they should rule everything. I love North Korea.
Yeah, you're right. So they started by getting all this information from the airline, but think they're getting from the airline your name, your date of birth, your address, your phone number, your email address, all that good stuff. And imagine where they can go from there. From there, they can access all of their government databases, all the FBI background checks, NCIS. They can go to non-public or to private databases such as Equifax, go to your credit report. And it's come out that they're doing this. And the question has to be why. What have they done that has shown that any of that will actually reduce the risk of terrorism? By the way, there is pretty limited evidence of risk of terrorism. So what terrorism are we trying to reduce, and will this actually reduce it is the question.
Well, let's get down to brass tacks. This is an internal security force for capital controls. I saw a meeting in 2002 with TSA before DHS was even cabinet level, with a roundtable group on C-SPAN with hundreds of members of corporations there represented. And they said, to get a job, you'll go through TSA. They'll have highway checkpoints, everything. And I've been talking about it ever since. It's not like I just guessed all this was coming. This is a total takeover plan. Ron Paul's right. The border fence is to keep us in. It's just a total takeover.
You're right, and you're right about the cash control. There's even evidence. The TSA reports basically two things to law enforcement. Number one is when someone brings a small amount of drugs through the checkpoint that they forgot in their pocket, and number two is if you try and bring more than about $5,000 worth of currency, they'll report that to Customs and Border Patrol.
And they download your computers without warrants, and your iPhones and everything else, and again squeeze your junk. So it's a free country.
Yeah, it used to be.
Well, they're talking about arresting people that talk bad about the dear leader. So, and of course, they're threatening to arrest you. In fact, are you allowed to talk about the threats you got, or?
Yeah, I can talk about pretty much anything but the contents of that sealed brief.
So, what did she threaten you with lovingly?
The threats are vague but implied. They tell you that essentially bad things will happen if you end up doing this. So
it's the same way the Chicago mob would be like, you need to do what you're told or bad things will happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame.
I see your kid walking to school.
It's a shame that something might happen to it.
I hope your kid doesn't get run over. All right. Well, thank you so much, Thought Criminal. Jon Corbett, TSA, outofourpants.wordpress.com. And here in the free country, they're targeting him. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Alex.
We're on the march.
Thank you.
The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones
Actually,
and the GCN Radio
Empire's
Network.
shoving our head in the toilet.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
When an emergency happens, you'll be left to fend for yourself and your family. An outbreak of contagious disease can happen anywhere, and the threat of bioterrorism is always at hand. Because we're faced with more diseases than ever before, we need a better solution than ever before. Fortunately, there's a simple, effective way to protect yourself. Supernatural Silver offers a safe and effective means of fighting pathogens and can help defeat the root of these problems. Supernatural Silver is effective against more than 500 different disease-causing pathogens without encouraging drug resistance and without side effects. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and give you and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code October 2013 for 20% off your entire order and like us on Facebook.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
In the fields,
Evil minds that plot destruction.
bodies are burning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back live. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Alex Jones. And I know we have loaded phone lines with Jonathan and Don and Steve and Mitchell and Shane. We're going to get to everybody. And I'm going to air a special report from last night with Jakari Jackson coming up for part of the next segment, dealing with one of the most important issues out there, and that is a well-known, highly decorated Navy SEAL going public and saying the non-commissioned officers are now being asked by the higher-ups, will you fire on Americans during gun confiscation? Now, this is actually in official documents. The big news is that it's now being discovered by the low-level folks. It's being discovered by the people below even sergeant. And so that's why there's a big alarm. And here's the big issue. If they have gotten to the point where they're actually getting down to privates, below corporals, you better know they're getting ready to go operational. Now, that does not mean they're going to do it. If we do everything we can to get the word out about this, educate the military and the police, just like under Clinton, they'll back off. But now, this is, I'm not going to exaggerate, this is like 10 times worse than Clinton. I mean, back then, it's like, man, they're really going to try this now? The public isn't ready, even with a big staged event. Now they've got Homeland Security in place. Look at all the other stuff they're doing. The open persecution of the press. You better be scared of not speaking out and going public. You better be heard now. And I salute Matt Drudge at drudgereport.com exposing things like this and covering the Army manual from Judicial Watch when they say George Washington, the Founding Fathers are bad and the Tea Party's bad and they're our main enemy. Our military doesn't train to fight the Russians. They don't train to fight Al-Qaeda. They train for us. I mean, this is what happens to all third world countries. This has happened in Rome 2,060-something years ago with Julius Caesar. This is what happens. I mean, this is the plague of free countries. We're 236 years old. No nation has ever lasted that long. We're the equivalent of like 98 years old, and we just went in for a CAT scan. We got bone cancer, brain cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer. I mean, we got cancers twice the size of our body we're dragging around. I mean, America was so strong, we're still operating. I mean, it is... The establishment might as well be swinging from chandeliers, raping our daughters. I mean, it is that just like robbing the bank, laughing at us. Obamacare is a total fraud, openly bad-mouthing the Founding Fathers, and they got a bunch of cops and military that have been picked out of all the good men and women. And they finally have built a command force filled with traitors and filled with scum. The San Antonio police chief would not say he wouldn't confiscate guns en masse if ordered to do so by Obama. I know his predecessor, L.A. Philippus, would have said absolutely not. In fact, I have him on tape saying he'll never confiscate guns, then that's treason. I know the former police chief down there, formerly Army Intelligence, a patriot, blew the whistle on Delta Force bribes. The new police chief in San Antonio looked me right in the eyes, McManus, and said, man, he had a... aide de camp with him, a sergeant, I mean, who was just, I could tell, wants power. So you guys are going to get power for a short season, but you're going to be known as the traitors. You're idiots, and cowards. Make me want to throw up. Excuse me. Now, by the way, we just broke the TSA news that nobody else will cover. They admit the whole thing's a fraud and about a takeover. And the feds have pulled that off their dock. I mean, we just break bombshell after bombshell. Not because we're special. Everybody else cowers in fear. Michael Savage didn't cower in fear. He's Ed Gucciardi, who's a correspondent with us as well. Now I guess you're doing some correspondent work with him, with HistoryLeak.com. And I'm glad there's people like Anthony Gucciardi out there and others, because we need more people, folks. I don't want to be the only guy out there fighting. I want to win the war against the globalist. That's my goal. And Anthony Gucciardi's here with some updates on several issues. It's in the Associated Press. Nuclear officers napped with blast doors left open. Air Force officers entrusted with the launch keys to long-range nuclear missiles have been caught twice this year, leaving open the blast door that is intended to help prevent a terrorist or other intruder from entering their underground command post, Air Force officials said. So this is all part of the purge. Who knows if this is true? They've purged 2 top generals, the number 1 and the number 2 admiral, over all the nuclear weapons. And then didn't want the media covering it. AP said it had to be leaked to them weeks later. Turns out it happened right after we broke the missing nukes. So there's all sorts of crazy stuff going on. An update on this briefly, just for a few minutes, Anthony, and then there's another reason I got you in here. But what is your take just on all the general insanity going on and the military openly training to take on the American people in high treason?
Exactly. So what's interesting is the real news. We actually broke this entire nuke catastrophe here, and the AP has been reporting on this and alluding to our reports on this without actually saying it. So they've been bringing.
And that's because they're gagged. They're not even allowed to ask Obama why healthcare doesn't work.
Right.
That's the 1-inch leash they're on.
But notice that they're actually trying to tell the truth in some ways, it appears. They're talking about how they, the nuke commanders, it was leaked. They were fired on the same day as the transfer we reported on.
Yeah, because everybody loves their kids if they're not completely insane.
And yeah, exactly. And they're asking in this article, what's going on? All these commanders are getting fired, all this information. They're very vague about it, all this information about nuclear stuff. They're saying, what is happening here? And they're mentioning us without actually mentioning us by name or the story of the Dyess Air Force nuke transfer and Lindsey Graham coming out and saying there could be a strike on South Carolina where the nukes were going hours after we released the report that they were secretly transferring the nukes to South Carolina, as many of you are aware. But what's really key here is they're showing that not only is there a nuke transfer going on, not only are all the top commanders being fired, but whether it's negligence or on purpose, the blast doors to actually access these nukes and launch them anywhere are being completely left open.
See, they're now leaving stories of why a nuke may get lost or how the Patriots or Al-Qaeda, whoever they blame it on. The script is we're working with Al-Qaeda now. Even before it was on MSNBC, made up. Now the West Point training is the Tea Party is going to link up with Al-Qaeda. I mean, the most Islamophobic, beyond compare Tea Party is going to join Al-Qaeda. That's like saying Superman's going to join Lex Luthor. I mean, this is just, I mean, it is total fraud, but that's their script. And I'm telling you, these stories are being planted so that when stuff happens, that's what I think, they can sit there and say, oh, actually, that's how, because that was the word. These were warheads for missiles, ICBMs. That's what our people didn't know exactly. They said these weren't supposed to be here, but they look like not bombs. These were warheads. And warheads that go in MIRV packages, multiple reentry device packages. Probably saying too much. And now MIRVs, the MIRV missiles are open. I mean, this is all pure bull. Go ahead.
And even in the article, it talks about the issues with ICBMs and how there's been a lot of catastrophe and weird stuff going on. And AP is actually pushing this. This is an AP exclusive. But what you're saying ties into the news that I wrote about yesterday. It's up on InfoWars. The TSA expanding their search, and this was one of the things that we covered and pushed into the media as well, expanding their search. It's not just about being a passenger anymore. They're tracking you through private and government databases. And that will be used, as you were saying, to, if something happens, say, well, look, the TSA is here. We're expanding this because we want to catch the terrorists outside of the airport now.
Yeah, Al-Qaeda had the shoulder-launched rockets in Dallas or Houston or wherever, and they took out the aircraft. Now we're going to be within 2 miles roving checkpoints. That's all the official plan.
Yeah.
And they're going to get your wife and get her over there, and the state police are going to proctology her. And if you don't like it, they're going to blow your head off because they rule everything now.
Well, it's just like the NSA. They claim that, they actually stopped a bunch of terrorist threats. And here's how this works. They'll say that. It'll be big news. And then it was like a week ago, they admitted they actually didn't stop any.
The government runs the terrorist. Or if they find a real one, they protect them, they lavish them, they give them money on record, and then wind them up to attack us.
But
like Hamid,
later.
Out at the base.
So they can say anything they want. It becomes a headline, and that becomes a talking point. And then when it really comes out and it's exposed and everything like that, a week later, no one cares. That's the problem.
And the narrative is troops and police, you're heroes fighting Al-Qaeda. Now watch these people that like freedom. I mean, it's just open. I can't believe we actually have the most nasty form of governmental cancer I've ever seen. We are, and they're there, and we're in a stalemate, and they're gutting everything they can. The dollar, our future, our republic, everybody's savings. They're wrecking everything they can as fast as they can, Anthony. Everything they've got control of. Foster kids, mass drugging, seizures, killing them, testing pesticides on them, prisoners, troops, guinea pigs. But things they don't have control of, they want control of. So they can strangle it.
Who would have thought in 2013 that asking a head peace officer, if he would confiscate our guns if ordered by Obama, we would get looks that we were crazy and some Fed next to us staring us down saying he's a private citizen. You remember that guy?
Yeah, who had a badge on and had his hand on his gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like he was quick draw McGraw. Like we're scared of him with a gun when we come out in public violating the ordinance with guns mounted on our backs.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so afraid. You might get me. I didn't know that. Oh, you think I'm like you little frickin' coward? You think I'd sell my family out like you, dirtbag? You think I'm frickin' scum like you? You think I'm a coward like you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's just insane that we are the weird ones for asking such a fundamental question when they said, yeah, hypothetically, I can't answer that question. Well, did you hypothetically take an oath to the Constitution to uphold it? Well, yes, we did. Well, is the Second Amendment in the Constitution? Well, yeah, I guess. So would you confiscate guns if Obama, Lord and Savior, told you to do so? Oh, I don't know. I can't.
That's an exact quote.
That is actually exactly what we said. They said, well, I can't answer that question. They wouldn't even say yes or no.
Because all they care about is having a costume on and everyone being scared of them.
Well, it's that.
You know what I love being on that crowd? The people weren't shaking at the police.
Yeah, they were holding their ground. There was a lot of them there, too. And it was like.
Well, most of the police were actually on our side, I'll be honest. But it's the higher you go up, they become these political creatures.
No, I don't think he's a bad guy. That's the weird thing. I think the police chief was a decent guy.
They're just too scared to even.
He was afraid to say he wouldn't confiscate it because he felt like his higher ups and the political chain would eat him alive.
And you're right. That was a Fed there bugging his eyes out.
Yeah,
like
and he said, "Oh, I'm a listener." He was.
Maybe the guy isn't bad too. I just know they were acting scared, and I don't like that.
He was just eyeing.
I mean, I don't like being around men that are scared. I'm sick of it. I mean, that's the Fed shouldn't have been scared of us.
Yeah,
maybe they were scared of something else. I don't know.
Well, he was afraid that we were asking these questions to the police chief as if we weren't even allowed to go next to our peace officers and ask them anything. It's just like when I asked, why is there a guy in the window filming us? I was just wondering what was going on there. They acted like I was a terrorist, and they said, we have intel something very bad is going to happen.
Oh, and sorry, it did it? No.
Nothing happened. It was very
As
safe.
if one of their cowardly wind-up toys is going to go to an open carry, fully loaded march.
Yeah.
Don't they get it? We aren't afraid. We're afraid of letting the tyrants take over. That's all we're afraid of. We're afraid of turning our families and our culture over to evil and failing our ancestors. Don't they understand any of this?
I pose a question. Where would you rather be in the event of a quote-unquote mass shooting? At an elementary school or at an open carry march? Which would be safer? Gee, at an elementary school, it would be a bloodbath, and no one would stop it until 45 minutes statistically later when the police show up, or even more than that. But at an open carry rally, it would take about 1 second for the shooter to go down. And the open carry rally is essentially an overall basic minute example of the United States at large if we were armed. And the elementary school is Chicago. And that's why in Chicago, more gun deaths than in Afghanistan.
What do you make of the Interpol head coming out and saying the answer is we're going to have Muslim extremists attack malls because that's the intel. We got to get concealed carry. We got to get people armed like Texas. It was like just total 2 + 2 = 4. The default position, statistics show it. What's going on with the Interpol head? And his last name is Noble, so I guess he's a noble person. He just doesn't want to lie to everybody. Couldn't everybody just start being noble and then they can't fire everybody?
I actually think after speaking to some of these top guys that are so deluded that if they look at the statistics, they can't even lie to themselves anymore because it's this weird thing where emotional reaction trumps facts now, like with MSNBC. If you watch MSNBC, they
mass shootings are down about 49%, but they say they're up.
Yeah, I mean, look at the 1930s. You could go get a massive automatic weapon. You can buy a naval ship now if you have the right credentials, but there's no naval ship mass killings because it's only the qualified people getting them. Not anyone on the street can go out and get a naval ship, and that's how it is right now. They're always acting like, oh, we need background checks as if they don't exist. Or we're acting like there's no limitations on purchasing a gun, and that's what's wrong. Go back to the 1930s and beyond that, when there actually was no checks and everything was fine.
Until about 1900 on average, when you got out of prison for felonies, even killing people, they gave you your guns back.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you just got punished for that, now don't do it again.
It really has nothing to do with that when we look at this.
Well, they knew a guy's going to go bad again, is going to get a gun anyway.
No, I mean, look, no one wants to talk about the mass knifing as it was. I think 8 people killed from an X-Acto knife, or it was like a pen or something like that. It was in the news for like 2 hours and no one talked about it.
Well, in Japan, I've seen it where one time he killed 14 kids in minutes with a big sharp butcher knife.
It's actually easier to kill people sometimes with melee weapons than it is with a gun. I mean, but no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah, because it slices and leaves the arteries open.
I mean, look, statistically, we all know hammers, hands and feet kill more than rifles. Hands and feet kill more than rifles. Hammers and clubs do as well.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say, even if they took all our guns, and I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I mean, I am a man. I mean, I'll guarantee you, I could take as many guns as I want with a butcher knife real fast.
Yeah, at about 20
I've got
feet.
the will to walk up behind somebody, slit their throat from ear to ear, wide open. I got your gun right there. What you going to do about it?
I was told they're... in training for attacking things like that for military style, at about 20 feet, you opt to use a knife as opposed to a weapon, as opposed to a gun anyway. But no one talks about that. The gun is evil. Remember the moms who we couldn't even find? There was like less than 5. Even my San Antonio admitted that there was less than 20 people overall, probably like 5 people going. The people that were anti-Alamo resistance and liberty, they were always obsessing over this ban assault weapons thing. Even on their pamphlets, it kept saying ban assault weapons. And they were acting as if assault weapons were evil. But when confronted with statistics, what did? They screamed at us and attacked you. I mean,
we're out of time. I'm going to come back and do this report and then take phone calls for the entire third hour. I promise, folks. I'm going to go, well, actually, yes, the whole third hour is open. I'm going right to your calls. That's coming up. Briefly, you showed me this. We've had a bunch of tests go through, but the lab we use, who wants to name private because it's a private institution, one of the top in the country, obviously, they get the most expensive tests, not parts per million, but even lower. And I want to show Eurofins. Frontier Global Science is one of the top testers in the country. What was this, a $5,000 test? Anthony, I'm going to show people a document, Cam, on our nascent iodine, the one-of-a-kind system, InfoWarsLife.com. You can back order it right now. It'll be in the next few weeks. If you want to get in line for that, we appreciate your support. But tell folks about the numbers here. We've never seen cadmium not detected. Even in the best supplements and products, you're going to have some of it in there. Lead not detected at 0.003.
That's less than, no, there's absolutely no detectable levels.
Absolutely. Mercury, well, that's the level they tested down to. Mercury not detected 0.002. That's the level they tested down to.
Yeah, exactly.
Explain to people what that is.
Okay, so basically, we've done products in the past. We've done super high quality products in the past where there's no metal contamination and stuff like that. But even when we look at it, it's, 0.01, point whatever. These are non-detectable. I've never, ever seen that before. And specifically looking at some of these tests with these Chinese products, this is from Mike Adams. Some of the things he found when he did a test was 29 parts per million of aluminum and 0.8 parts per million of arsenic and 0.1 parts per million of cadmium, 0.2 parts per million of lead. And so
the point is, this is unbelievably clean. InfoWarsLife.com.
Exactly. This is the
It's been said, those who control the food control the people. Are you concerned about GMO foods making you sick and affecting your mind? Many people suffer from lack of energy, insomnia, loss of stamina, weight gain, and the inability to think clearly. Genetically modified crops, processed foods, and toxic chemicals can compromise your health and are silently destroying your digestive system, which accounts for 80% of your immune system. Take back control of your health with Pro EM1 Probiotic from Terraganics. Pro EM1 Probiotic helps protect your body against irritable bowel syndrome, constipation, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, diabetes, the common cold, and much more. And including a powerful probiotic like Pro EM1 as part of your daily routine puts you back in control and prevents you from becoming a mindless zombie manipulated by the pharmaceutical and GMO agendas. Call Terraganics at 866-369-3678 or visit Terraganics.com. Terraganix.com.
We travel so much, and having a fake TV, well, it gives added peace of mind.
Burglars look for houses that appear to be easy targets. But fake TV can fool even professional burglars into thinking someone is home watching television.
As a recent widow living alone, it gives me great peace of mind to set my fake TV near a window and know that passing motorists and pedestrians will think someone is home watching TV when I'm actually away from home.
Fake TV easily plugs into any outlet, just like a light on a timer.
And they're so easy to use. You just plug them in and they're ready to go. Plus, they're so affordable that we have one upstairs and downstairs.
Fake TV is only $29.95 with free shipping. Order your fake TV by calling 877-5-FAKE-TV or go to faketv.com. That's 877-532-5388 or faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need to sign a long-term contract. Listen, there is some real scum in the alarm business, cashing in by locking you into long, punishing contracts. Not with Simply Safe Home Security. They're the good guys. You can trust Simply Safe to protect your family. Simply Safe was created by a Harvard Business School engineer, and it's revolutionary. You'll get 24-hour protection for just $14.99 a month. There are no hidden fees and no contracts. You'll save thousands. Plus, you're protected by their 100% money-back guarantee. Protect yourself against home invasions and break-ins. Order your Simply Safe system now and receive a wireless keychain remote, a $25 gift, free. So don't waste your time dealing with scum. Visit GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com. GetSimplySafe.com.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security.
It seems apparent that our citizens are staying off the streets, which may make scoring particularly difficult, even with this year's rule changes. To recap those revisions, women are still worth 10 points more than men in all age brackets, but teenagers now rack up 40 points, and toddlers under 12 now rate a big 70 points. The big score, anyone, any sex, over 75 years old, has been upped to 100 points. As always, how fast you move determines how long you live.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
I'm Jakari Jackson with an InfoWars Nightly News Alert. Are you willing to fire upon Americans? That's the question reportedly being asked of military personnel. And who's asking this question? The United States government themselves, according to the military personnel we've talked to. Retired Navy SEAL Benjamin Smith went on the Fox News channel, revealing how he believes the United States government is trying to provoke veterans into an armed confrontation. He was also on the Alex Jones radio show today, telling us about the litmus test he was given.
Going back to the beginning of this administration, I've had friends within the community talking about how they were brought in and, questioned with people from, more towards the top side, and the questioning resulted in kind of where it was pointing was, do you feel comfortable disarming American citizens? And you can see that now with the shedding of a lot of the officers and stuff like that. It's we don't have the 100% track on it, but, there's a lot of funny things happening within military.
Now that's bombshell, but I want to quantify that. I have Secret Service, FBI sources on record on the air, but also covert sources that are currently in. They say exactly that for 2 years. There is a litmus test where officers from the generals down to lieutenant generals, down to majors, down to sergeant, master sergeants, will you fire on U.S. citizens? And if you say no, you're sent to the worst hellhole or basically kicked out. If you say yes, you're put into special Homeland Security units. Quantify, you're saying people in the community, special warfare community, are saying they have been brought into litmus test meetings.
Yeah. And at this moment in this conversation, it's God, to bring it back to Van Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Do you remember him when he said you have to, for us to have the argument or to just have the conversation logically, and what he was saying with, the communists and the lefties and everything that Van Jones is, it's you drop the radical pose for the radical ends. And just to translate that into what this is, I understand a lot of libertarian, Ron Paul, a lot of people that are your listeners get fervent and very strong about it. And it's not about, being that person that's the loudest right there, having that logical conversation to where someone else can reply and you can go back with facts. And it's a logical conversation that needs to be had.
And you can see the rest of that bombshell interview on prisonplanet.tv, where if you're not a member, you need to join today. You get a 15-day free trial, and you can also share one username and passcode with up to 11 different people. Get your membership today. Now stick around, because after this we'll have more special reports. I'm Jakari Jackson, and this has been an InfoWars Nightly News Alert.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only 2 ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with nascent iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of nascent iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality nascent iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Give me liberty or give me death!
First off, I want to salute everybody who came out here in defiance of tyranny. Civilizations go one way or the other. You either become more free or you become enslaved. And there are only a few countries worldwide where you can still own firearms. Governments worldwide controlled by powerful anti-free market corporate interests like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and others have financed programs from Australia to France, from England to South Africa to disarm the people. Whether it was King George 235 years ago who wanted disarmed slaves, or whether it was Santa Anna 177 years ago, or whether it was Adolf Hitler or Mao Zedong, these scumbags are all the same. They are bullies that think we're going to lay down to them and lick their boots. I can assure you that if William Barrett Travis was here, or the others that died in this sacred shrine were here, they would give us a rebel yell of liberty! I can assure you they knew full well they were going to die, but they were so angry watching people tied up and shot in the back of the head all over Texas because they wouldn't turn their guns in that they came down here to show an example of what you do in the face of tyrants. And that's what you're doing here right now, today. And I'll tell you, I'm no different than my ancestors. You're no different than your ancestors. My ancestors on both sides of my family started the Texas Revolution. And I'm here to tell you that revolution was a continuation of human beings fighting against bullies and tyrants in every civilization throughout history. And this is the struggle of the individual against the bullies and the tyrants. And I salute you all for being here today. All right, folks, we are back. And this is a short segment. The full speech I gave is up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And I want to go to Jonathan right now. And then we'll come back from break and go to the others that have been holding the longest, like Don and Steve and others. You're on the air, Jonathan from New York. Go ahead.
Hey, brother, man. How's it going?
Good, brother. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
I want to give you a heads up on something that's going to be airing on a National Geographic channel this Sunday, the 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and you live in Central, it's going to be 8 o'clock. There's a show coming out called American Blackout, and I was going to talk to you last week about it, but I was at work about it. But I'm kind of thinking, my question for you is, I don't know if you remember that one show back in 2001, The Lone Gunman, how it's kind of like a precursor to the events of 9/11?
Sure. They prepare you and then show you how to react when it actually happens. And they said, government's going to have a drill. take over by remote control, fly the plane in the World Trade Center, blame it on Afghanistan, and then bring in martial law in America. That aired 6 months before. And the CIA did approach them and have them write that. That came out in the news, yes.
Right. I want to know, do you think, like I said, there's a website. If you go to channel.nationalgeographic.com/channel/American/
Sure, no, I mean, I've heard of the show. I think it is all to condition us to get us ready, because most of us aren't going to have power all the time in the future anyway. Only government districts are going to have it under Agenda 21. That's all official. That's how it is living in a Soviet nation. I mean, do I think that's conditioning? Yeah, they're practicing how to turn the power grid on and off right now, because it's easy to turn it off. It's hard to turn it back on. FEMA's actually doing drills on this. I'm not saying that's coming right away, but they'd like to kill us if they could. I mean, and the process of that is training us that they put their hands on our wives and kids and take our guns and turn our power off and boss us around. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're breaking our will. Anything else, Jonathan?
Yeah, next month. I've even
Stay there. I'm going to come back to you and then everybody else. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to big pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese. When you visit InfoWarsHealth.com, be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products, and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip. Alex Jones here, and I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Yeah, and Uncle Sam's got brainworms. He's been taken over by the globalist. Uncle Sam's always had a lot of problems when Uncle Sam is absolutely alien, publicly declaring our founders enemies and us enemies and our returning veterans enemies. I think that's pretty clear, isn't it? And I think, I like how the guitar like agreed with me right there. It's like, yes. Yes. Didn't the guitar sing like yes? We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, we have 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have the InfoWars Nightly News. We're going to go right back to your phone calls now. I just wanted to mention some of the news coming up at the bottom of the hour. I'm going to do a big news blitz of a bunch of stuff I haven't got to yet. This is just now breaking up at drudgereport.com. It's from Breitbart.com. Germany, U.S. may have targeted Merkel's cell phone, AP. Oh, that's like saying fish may swim in the ocean. That's so ridiculous. It's kind of like, oh, we know there's back doors in all your software because we ordered all the software makers to make them. And now we're worried the Chinese government may be using it. Jeeper creeper. We blew a big hole in the side of your house, and we want to tell you bugs might come in or the weather. Oh. I mean, it's just all of this has been public forever. The truth is they can't hide any of this. They don't hide any of it. It's public that the big defense contractors, you know, run giant child kidnapping rings worldwide, including the U.S. Fox News always asking, where's this kid? They were raped and murdered 20 years ago in Saudi Arabia. Those guys pay a lot to murder your child. What do you think they're doing in there right now? I mean, it's not like it's some secret. Your daughter might still be alive in Thailand right now in a dungeon 20 years later. Got a bunch of murderers running the country, a bunch of mafia. People that make mafia look like good guys. Everybody's so naive and or the cops I know are all afraid. And yeah, you're right about it. Better watch it, though. I'm not going along. What do you think I intend to do here? I fully plan on them killing me. I don't look forward to it, don't like it, but I'm like full steam ahead, ramming speed. That's the only spirit you can have. I cannot help but resist these people. Who's going to stand up for all these kids? Who's going to stand up for all these women? You want to be a gangster culture? You think that's cool? Well, you now live in one. You're the slave. Stop acting like one. Laying down only encourages it. Look at this. Merkel. Bush used to have a toilet that followed him around. And he actually had a groom of the stool. George W. Bush, somebody that would tidy him up, make sure that none of the paper got left or anything. It was a chemical toilet. They would take in his hotels everywhere because they caught the French and others setting up stuff in the sewer lines to find out what George W. Bush is on. Of course, in fact, I would expect the NSA to be spying on Merkel. That's who you're supposed to spy on as foreign governments. You're not supposed to spy on the American people and supposed to give all your Google searches to the perverts at the TSA. Everything's backwards here. You're supposed to spy on Herr Merkel. But the globalists are letting all this come out so they won't be spied on. See how that works? It's unbelievable. Let's go to phone calls here. And I do mean Herr Merkel. It looks like the cousin of Janet Reno. Maybe Merkel's the mother of, who's that young man on MSNBC? Maddow? Let's go to Jonathan in New York. I mean that lady on there, excuse me. No. Used to have a show on Saturday Night Live. Now it's got a show on MSNBC. I forget the name. What's the name of the... Pat? What's the name of Pat's show on MSNBC? What do they call it? The Pat Show? Or oh, no. I thought it was the Pat Show. It's not the Rachel Maddow Show. Okay, whatever. And look, there she is on screen giving birth to TSA. Doesn't matter. She runs off. It runs off, you know, to suck our blood. If you're a radio listener, you have to actually watch us at infowars.com/show or prisonplanet.tv, and you can see the birth of, actual footage, the birth of Rachel Maddow. And mommy running away to help all the people at the university, to help give all the people, the young ladies, their admission. All right, let's go ahead and talk to Jonathan. Jonathan, you got cut off by the break. You had another point. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thanks for letting me talk to you again. I live in FEMA Region Number 2, New York State, and I think I remember you saying that within the month of November, they're going to start doing, quote-unquote, like shutdowns of the power grid. So I think this is just perfect timing for them to be showing this American blackout video just before everything starts.
Well, no, I mean, they have actuaries with the power companies to get you ready to pay 4 or 5 times what you did and get power about 3 hours a night, enough because they can control you. It'll come on when you get home, and then you're supposed to go to bed by 8, so you'll have it like 5 to 8. You understand? I mean, no, that's the plan. You're going to live in hell. That's the Plandopolis. They teach the kids in Britain with these training videos. You'll get meat once a year. To go somewhere, you'll have to get authorization on your smartphone. This is all the plan. Ration cards to eat. I mean, hell world. With globalists and jet copters above you with your kidnapped child with them. I mean, literally, just feeding on you. How's that sound?
I have no comment with that one, then.
Well, God bless you. I'm going to jump. No, in every culture, you get an elite who likes to be psychopathic. So the Druid elite would say, I want your kids to sacrifice. The Aztecs said, I want your kids to sacrifice. The Babylonians said, I want your kids to sacrifice. The Romans said, I want your kids in the arena to sacrifice. When a Roman lord would die, they would have slaves fight to the death over it. The psychopaths got control of some of the Norman. They'd said, when the noble dies, we burn your wife. We don't want to listen to her. That's actually a good custom. I'm joking. I mean, all this stuff. Every culture, they demand to murder you, and then you bow, and they cut your heart out. And then the priest class with the Aztecs and the Mayans and other Mayan cultures, is all Mayan, the lower priest class made money off the daily sacrifices. And every city had to have it. You had to have meat. And the premium, the god wanted a child because, Chocmool or Quetzalcoatl or the winged serpent, they wanted, because the god wanted the meat, because obviously the priest tasted it. That tasted better. Everybody knows veal's better. And long ham, veal's better. And so they would hang the bodies down at the bottom of the pyramid, and then you would go and pay your offering to the priest class to get a succulent slice. And, I mean, what's wrong with that? And I'll guarantee you, if you were against that, you would have been called an extremist. And every culture ate children. I mean, don't just say it's the Aztecs. I mean, they just kind of created a science, and they had good agriculture with their chalupas. That's what they called them, these floating wooden rafts on rivers that you could get like 5 or 6 growth cycles a year, not just 2. So they had a huge population, and meat was on the dish. I mean, who doesn't like meat? I mean, human flesh tastes like pork, they say. It was delicious and succulent. Okay, and I support it. I support all government. Not supporting government's hateful and evil, and I don't want to be an extremist. Now let's talk to Don in Tennessee. Don, you're on the air. Go ahead. Of course, they're reinventing all that now. They're reinventing government's God, bow down to it, do whatever it says, give us total power. And so they're taking the offering now and taking your baby's diaper off. So the pedo, TSA person likes to look at that. And, and some of them have the job. You can see the ones. I'll go, look at that one. He's looking at that hot chick. He's going to grab her. They're going to buzz her. Oh, yeah. And we'll sit there and drink coffee going, oh, yeah. Look at that. They're going after her. Look at that woman. We're walking up to this rock concert with one of my friend's wives. Looks like a Miss America. And they flagged her, and it was a woman. And, boy, let me tell you, she took her time and was drooling. And let me tell you, we sat there and watched it, and she grabbed her crotch, grabbed her hind, and they know you want to go in, so and then grabbed her breast right in front of me. And I'm sorry if this is pornographic. This is what they do in America. And the guys were all laughing and looking at us going, yeah. I mean, it was almost going to be like, baka chicka wow wow wow, chicka down, baka chicka wow wow, land of the free, home of the brave. Oh, it's land of the free if you want to go get a job as a security person, because I don't blame that woman. I mean, she is an attractive woman, but that woman don't like you. She likes men, see. But doesn't matter. You get to do whatever you want. It's all about your power. And next it will be eating children. I'm telling you, if they get their way for the earth. Actually, the UN Biological Diversity Assessment, 1996, actually says they want to reintroduce human sacrifice like the Aztecs. So, see, they're already promoting it. I'm not joking if you just tuned in. Don in Tennessee, I apologize, sir. You've been holding like a real trooper. Go ahead.
Sir, over the past year, federal funds for hospital care of the poor have been cut. I mean, this means orderlies, nurses, doctors have been let go. At one hospital here in town, 800 people have been let go. At another one, 400 people were let go, and they even cut the size of the lunchroom in half.
No, it's a devastating operation. They're shutting everything down. 300,000 just lost their health care, set to double in Florida. I mean, isn't this great?
This is a substantial effect on at least our local economy, because they've sent a lot of the factory jobs overseas, and these are the last kind of golden nuggets.
And they're going to cut the welfare. and they're going to cut the food stamps right at the same time. How's that sound?
Well, I'm retired, so I'm a little bit out of the mess, but thanks for listening to me.
No, listen, sir, I appreciate you holding. I want you to continue and even hold over if you need to. And actually, I make jokes out of it because it's so sad. It's gallows humor. They are devastating the economy right now. And did you see where they're hiring armed guards now for financial collapse at the Federal Biz Opportunities website?
Yes, sir, I heard about that on Joyce's show, too.
But I mean, you understand that. This is all planned out. That's an Infowars.com. This is all planned out. You understand?
Well, it certainly looks planned out. One thing that kind of disturbed me is I like to write letters to my congressman, and during the federal shutdown, they actually let some of the office workers for the senators and stuff go hang. I'm still waiting for reply letters from my congressman. It looks like the whole democracy is shutting down, if you ask me.
Well, sir, here's the deal. I don't want to scare you as a retiree. Let me tell you the big plan. When we come back, we will.
An e-cig revolution is sweeping across the country. But is yours American-made? Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig is. Manufactured in Arkansas with 100% USA-sourced ingredients. And when you buy American, you support local jobs. Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig is top quality at an affordable price. The very principle that once drove the American economy. Get great taste with no ash, tar, or smoke. You'll be wondering why you didn't make the change to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig a long time ago. LeSig.com has everything you need, for beginners to the advanced vaping enthusiast, with a wide variety of hardware, and also imported e-liquid flavors as well. Plus, LeSig smokes the competition with fast, free, same-day shipping, real people customer service, and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Support our country and become a Vaporite at LeSig.com. Or call 870-525-1440, 870-525-1440. LeSig e-cigarettes for today's modern smoker.
That's the sound of a .44 Magnum and Trauma Max, a high-tech hybrid Kevlar bulletproof vest from InfidelBodyArmor.com. Will stop it and most pistol rounds. Trauma Max is a major breakthrough in pistol-rated body armor, and prices start at just $170 per insert. More protection, more stopping power, more mobility, and it weighs less than 5 pounds. Get details at InfidelBodyArmor.com. That's INFIDELBodyArmor.com.
From the makers of Block It Pocket, we bring you a serious message about the health risks associated with cell phones and wireless devices. Studies have shown that long-term exposure can contribute to an assortment of health risks. Block It Pocket offers you 2 new products designed to help alleviate your concerns. See these 2 remarkable products at blockitpocket.com. Call 888-315-9618. Free shipping to the lower 48. Blockitpocket.com. Enhancing health and privacy.
My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only 2 ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with nascent iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of nascent iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality nascent iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Not all protein powders are created equal. One World Whey is the first cold temperature processed, 100% all natural, unrefined, bioactive, grass pasture raised milk whey protein. Far from being another ordinary protein supplement, One World Whey is a full spectrum nutrition power food in and of itself, providing overall life-building benefits that touch virtually every human's life that other protein supplements don't deliver on. What are the benefits? Boosts the immune system, anti-aging properties, helps detoxification, helps lose body fat, supports excellent blood sugar levels, excellent for building muscle, increases in energy levels, enhances the feelings of youth, energy for exercise and recovery. Who's it for? Anyone wanting to feel healthy and have energy. Busy people, office workers, growing children, students, teachers, seniors, people recovering from illness, and high-performance athletes. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the 44th President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, and his new presidential theme song. No longer will it be Hail to the Chief. No, it'll be called Riding the Obamacare Train. And let me tell you, it's got sandpaper and razor blades. This is going to hurt as bad as you can imagine, because they've got even worse stuff coming up in the future. We hope you like being poor, and we hope you like the collapse of the economy, because it's called Cloward and Piven on steroids. Continuing, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be national compulsory service, because those of you on pension funds who think you're okay as the economy shuts down, think again. They're going to leverage the 100 million people that will be out of work against your pensions. The government will nationalize them and cut them in half day one. And then, in the years to come, they'll cut that even more until you have nothing except paramilitary forces shooting you in the street if you complain. You asked for it, America. Now you're going to get it. But at least the president's going to smile at you while they dismantle your life and come after your guns. Because if that isn't enough for you, there's a great civil war added to the deal. Oh, the takedown of America was planned for a long time. And now, Barack Hussein Obama is the closer. Grin and bear it, say you enjoy it, or you'll be called a racist. And we know you'd throw your children into a mine shaft before you allowed that to happen. So, America, you want to be slaves? You are. Barack Obama, hail to the chief. Obama does America right. All right, there you go, folks. A little bit of equal time. We have that announcement from the White House for you. Oh, there's still some more White House music? There you go. More White House theme music. Chicka wow waka chicka waka waka chicka chicka wow wow wow. Bow now bow 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 now now now. Hey, look at the bailout, boys and girls. Talk about cool. There's nothing better to bail out General Motors and ship it to China and Mexico and Brazil. You don't like that? Well, there's more coming where that came from. And remember, George Washington's bad, private property's bad, and your kids don't belong to you. Or Rachel Maddow will call you a racist. And we sure don't want some chick know-it-all, out of control, wannabe man telling us what to do, so we better bow down to her, huh? That's what we do. All right, I apologize. I'm out of control. Yeah, just to tell the fellow from Tennessee, and I want you to keep your pension fund you paid for, sir. They're going to take your pension fund once they're setting up Homeland Security to do that. It's set up. You notice this is all set up with the riot police going into place and everything just right on time. It's all prepared. But it's for your own good. I mean, you heard the theme song, folks. No more Hail to the Chief. Just for nostalgia, can we go out with Hail to the Chief? You can find it all over the place. I mean, I just love our chief. I just love him so much right now. Let's go ahead and talk to Steve in Chicago. You're on the air, my friend. Welcome.
Yes. Richard Gucciari.
Hey, wait a minute. It's McGruff. Yeah, hey, McGruff. McGruff, are you liking your Obamacare now?
A little Italian shoemaker can shine my shoes. Richard Gucciari.
But yeah, he ain't shining your shoes, buddy. He's making international headlines. I mean, you really don't like Italians now, McGruff, but you like Obama.
like that governor of, he'd be going into the federal building with a newspaper over his head. The guy from New Jersey, Chris Crispy. Well,
can you talk? I'll let you continue. You can say whatever you want. You got to do it in the full McGruff sound. Go ahead.
Okay. You had a caller yesterday, a cryptic caller, that referred to British military intelligence in the Mideast. Yeah, he's exactly right. He talked about Kipling and, of course, Lawrence of Arabia. What we don't know, this is true, though, the German Oriental Society was founded in 1897, and it was formed to combat Anglo-French interests in the Middle East. The idea of using Muslims as patsies to execute different attacks, this is well documented.
Well, I mean, that goes back to the Byzantines with double-cross people using Muslim or Mohammedans, as they called them, mercs. So this is actually about 600 years old. No, more than that. No, the Byzantines. Well, what was left of the Byzantine when it fell? No. Then Constantinople became Istanbul. Tell you what, stay there. I'm going to come back to you, McGruff, because I want you to say, I'm McGruff. Got to check for bombs in your underwear. I'm free to do a proctology exam on your wife. I'm the Texas State Police. Help take a bite out of somebody's dignity today. Break the slaves.
The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
When an emergency happens, you'll be left to fend for yourself and your family. An outbreak of contagious disease can happen anywhere, and the threat of bioterrorism is always at hand. Because we're faced with more diseases than ever before, we need a better solution than ever before. Fortunately, there's a simple, effective way to protect yourself. Supernatural Silver offers a safe and effective means of fighting pathogens and can help defeat the root of these problems. Supernatural Silver is effective against more than 500 different disease-causing pathogens without encouraging drug resistance and without side effects. Supernatural Silver is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and give you and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code October 2013 for 20% off your entire order and like us on Facebook.
When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road. But if the unfortunate happens, you'll be glad you were wearing diamond gussets.
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you'll love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
We turn jeans inside out. Diamond gusset jeans. Made in the USA with unparalleled quality. Our Defender motorcycle jeans combine gusset comfort with Kevlar protection, so you can ride all day with confidence. Order yours at gusset.com. Diamond gusset jeans got it. Others don't.
Cal-Ben Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soap that is triple concentrated and made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog and buy American-made products. Order the sampler, a 1 to 2 month supply, or get a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. You're getting soap products twice as good as what you're using now. This is an amazing deal, and you will love the way real soap makes your skin feel. Call 1-800-340-7091 or visit www.5starsoap.com. Alex and his staff have used these earth-friendly, pure soaps for years. See them on the web, www.5starsoap.com, or call 1-800-340-7091 for a catalog.
I love being alive. I love my heart beating. I love seeing the gibbous moon this morning. I love liberty. I love God. I love my family, and I love you.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance. You're listening to Alex Jones.
Last night in Little Rock left me in a haze. Sweet Connie was doing her act. She had the whole show, and that's a natural fact. We're back live, ladies and gentlemen, with Kerry King. I got to tell you, polka is his thing. I'm in a really good mood today. I've hit equilibrium level with all the bad news. I'm just going to do whatever I can to fight it. I realize just fighting the evil is the journey. The journey is the destination. And we're going to do whatever we can. Our fear is gone. We're going to fight the tyranny. We're an American band, and we're coming to your town to reignite the human spirit. Yeah! All right, now I'm going to go back to Steve in Chicago and then get to Shane, Cindy, Robert, Mike, and everybody. Try to go to you quickly and hit some of this news. But I got to do it because I got to say Steve's been calling, I think since about 1998 when I was first on the radio in Chicago. We're on 1530 right now. It's another station then. He's been calling, and I got to be honest, I can't figure out who he really is. Sometimes he's called in and been mad at me. And I can't tell. All I know is he may be, is the guy that did the McGruff crime dog voice alive? This may actually, because he could almost beat. For those that don't know, when I was a kid, they had McGruff the crime dog, and I always liked how he helped take a bite out of crime. I'm telling you, he could almost beat a voice analyzer system. They found some cases people's voices are so similar that they can actually beat a voice print analysis. This may be, we're going to find out in a moment, if he is the voice of McGruff the crime dog. Let's play the McGruff crime dog ad, PSA, and then public service announcement, and then go back to Steve in Chicago to make his point. Here it is.
That's Jenny, but that's not Jenny's dad. If she gets into that car, that may be the last time you'll see Jenny. I'm McGruff, the crime dog. See those kids? Every day in this country, 60 kids disappear. Some run away.
I know. I loaded them on the C-130.
Or even by people they know.
We had the auction in Las Vegas.
Kids to protect themselves.
The Sheiks and others flew in. Some Rothschilds were there. I am McGruff, and the way we control things is we tell you we run the whole operation to save the kids when we're actually running most of it. Occasionally, when some psychopath on his own gets a kid, we'll grandstand around all day about it. But the truth is, we killed a lot of your kids. And by the way, the narcotics kids, I'm telling you not to use drugs, so you introduced them to you. Just like the anti-bullying training makes you bully. And just like the suicide, anti-suicide prevention makes the kids triple the suicides. Then we give you pills that make you do it more. I'm McGruff here for little kids. How you doing, little kids? I'm an expert in getting people into cars. Hey, seriously, though, Steve, are you related to McGruff the crime dog, or are you McGruff the crime dog?
No, I'm Rabbi Smiley Schmolson. Smiley because I was always smiling in my rabbinical class. Smiley, I'll sue you in rabbi court. Schmolson because I was the smallest man in my rabbi's class. What I wanted to do...
Hey, do you want to talk to Gucciardi? I mean, do you really not like Italians? I like Italians.
No, I wanted to talk about German Oriental Society, 1897, and that spawned the rogue agent Mohammed Atta. He was funded by the German Oriental Society in they started in 1897. Getting back to what I was talking about, that gentleman who wanted to know about espionage, look up the name Fritz Frank. And the other name he would look up would be Richard Meistershaugen. And I'll spell that, M-E-N-T-E-R-Z.
No. I know what you're saying is actually historical. You're an interesting guy. How long have you been calling?
Oh, I say a decade or so.
No, I think longer than that. It's longer than a decade.
Okay.
I remember doing radio shows at my house over an ISDN line with you calling in.
Okay. Another one is...
Hold on, McGruff. I'm asking you, are you McGruff the crime dog?
Wow. No, that's not one of my multiple personalities.
By the way, Gucciardi really liked you talking bad about him. He wants you to do it some more. He's right outside laughing. What do you want to say to Gucciardi?
Ciao, ciao.
So let me guess. Are you Italian?
No. Hell no. I'm a European. What do you think?
Oh, so so are you serious? You're such a white supremacist that Italians, even if they're from northern Italy, they're not white people, right?
Right.
Man, I got to tell you, I can't figure you out. Are you really for Obamacare? Are you really for Obamacare?
To a certain extent. But I wanted to get back to the Middle East. Kress von Kressenstein. You talk about the Germans. He wrote a book from Constantinople to the Suez Canal. He was there in World War I. He was a World War I general. The first Battle of Gaza, he beat the crap out of the Limeys and the Hymies together. This is for the Gaza Strip. The second battle, he beat the hell out of them. What's the point? In the Six-Day War, this guy, he already had planned, and back in the World War I, the bridging of the Suez Canal. So what did the Israeli general staff do? That Dayan with the one patch on his eye, he plagiarized the German plan. Take a look at it. It's Kress von Kressenstein. It's spelled with a K.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that the Israelis also run radical Muslim groups. That's even in Haaretz and Jerusalem Post. And you always are bashing everyone but the Germans. You don't like the Limeys, but your great leader, Hitler, thought the Brits were more Aryan than the Germans.
Well, I'm not supporting them with the German Oriental Society. I mean, you take a look at you take a look at Hamburg right now. That's the reason why they got raised.
All right. Listen, let's get serious here for a minute. Really, tell us about yourself. I mean, what'd you do? How old are you?
I'm a senior. I'm 60.
Yeah, you didn't sound exactly like McGruff 15 years ago.
Well, no, I don't think so. I hope not. I didn't look like him either.
Those guys are really funny. All right, man. I appreciate your call. There goes McGruff. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. You still there, Steve? I forgot to get him to say a liner for InfoWars. Hi, I'm McGruff. Don't look at InfoWars. It's thought crime. Man, I messed up. Cindy. I tell you what, leave a line open. Leave a line open. 800-259-9231. Call back, Steve. We'll use you as a liner. Call right back. 800-259-9231. Now everybody's calling in. I'll never get into that line. I'm telling you, like, I would want to win dinner with that guy if he lived in Austin. I mean, you'd be rolling 2 hours at dinner with him before you found out what was really going on. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Cindy in FEMA Region 2. Go ahead, Cindy. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Cindy calling in from occupied FEMA Region 3.
How loving. What former state are you in?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, welcome.
To Free America Radio. That's what I consider this, Alex.
That's what it is.
God bless America.
God bless you, ma'am.
God bless America. Anyway, I served in the military in the 70s. I was a United States Army stationed at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. And what I was calling in for is in response to the young National Guardsman who spoke earlier. During the 70s, we held that oath very dearly, and I still hold it dearly to this day. My advice to anybody in the military at this time is when they ask them, will they turn against Americans, to say, yes, we will, and then find out who each other is. And when they bring that long arm of evil down on Americans, they need to arrest those officers giving out those unjust orders. They need to arrest them. I don't care what they do with them. They need to grab them up, and they need to fight within them.
By the way, I was told that by my great uncle who just died a few months ago, who was in all sorts of just above top secret, super black stuff. And he said it was well known there was talk back then, because governments always want to know if they can take over. And there was talk about COG and gun confiscation, and there would be generals in the officers' club saying, we're going to, shoot anybody that talks like that. I mean, that was just default. We'll kill anybody who talks like that. And nowadays, it's like they're getting ready to come try to take the guns. I mean, the only reason America couldn't be taken over by a coup and take the guns is because the country was founded over you're not taking our guns. That's the only reason they haven't gotten them completely yet. And so exactly, back in your time in the 70s, they had manuals, and the officers would teach. If you're ever told to take guns, You know, unless it's from a particular criminal in an emergency, but from the general public, you don't follow those orders. And, of course, you know what else they said back then. I don't even want to repeat it in this day and age and how bad stuff is. But, I mean, what did you guys talk about if they ever said take the guns when you were in the military?
We said, hell no.
Well, they also said they were going to do something else. So the point is, yeah, I mean, it's just, but now it's here. I mean, they with a straight face say families are bad, freedom's bad, private property's bad, fathers are bad, veterans are bad, George Washington's bad. I mean, it's just like, they've learned the trick of hiding in plain view. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
We know the difference. There's more of us awake than they realize, and we need to take our military back from within. My dad was a presidential honor guard to Harry S. Truman. He was also a bircher, and he hid within. And I'm a daughter of the American Revolution as well.
Wonderful.
And, I still hold that oath to this day. I'll fight for liberty or death. I'll die for my country. And anybody in the military who doesn't think that they have to put their life up for this country, they're mistaken.
Well, think about that. Think about that. That's a great point. You fight for all these fake globalist wars. You've got to still admire the courage of the people that do it and stick together. But the point is, this is America. This is for the Republic. This is here, now. Go ahead.
They won't get a second chance. They will not get a second chance. They're giving out orders that aren't to be followed. Whatever orders they're told to follow, if that is not in their oath, they should not follow them, and they should turn on those giving them, arrest them, whatever they have to do to them, get them, and take our military back, because we need our military working for us.
That's right.
We owe it to our ancestors, we owe it to us, and we owe it to our future, and most foremost, and first of all, we owe it to our God and country.
That's right. God bless you, man. Beautiful words. And that's just, it's not even knowledge. It's just, I know it, my being. First comes God. It's really strange. And what I'm worried about it. I mean, I love my children more than anything, but it's like, and I've got to be honest, it's God, my ancestors, and then my children, and then my wife. But I know why that's the instinct, because those are the people that provided and built a foundation for us that wasn't perfect, but it's a lot better than what we see now, that went through hell. And then it all goes for nothing if we lose that. I mean, it's like, that's all that matters is freedom. Don't all you people get it? Bought out by the New World Order for some chicken feed, for a new car, for a fancier house, so you can have more junk to mess with. And look, I got things, but I'm a target. I understand having money so you can defend yourself, a little bit of money. And so you're not under people's control. I want people to be wealthy, but wealthy in the free market. It's a much bigger cornucopia than any other collectivist system, and we know that. It doesn't work, but they lie to each group and say, oh, it's going to be great for you. And by the way, here's the new article up on Infowars.com by Steve Watson. It's also on PrisonPlanet.com. Nut job Obama supporters believe healthcare.gov disaster is part of right-wing conspiracy. No, the right-wing controlled, if you want to call them that, Republican-written, old guard, John McCain, Karl Rove, George Bush Republicans, the Mitt Romney Republicans, they are the conspiracy of the rape care, dummies. They wrote it, you idiots, along with the other fat cat Democrats, you morons. I knew they'd do this. They are just the dumbest. I got to say it. I mean, I'm not a Republican, folks, but I lean more towards that because they're pro-gun and anti-abortion and stuff. But, I mean, I cannot believe how dumb Democrats are. And no wonder all their shows on CNN and MSNBC are how smart they are, because that's to cover up the fact that they have constituents that are literally idiots. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. And he's got a whole thing with their tweets and news articles, and I'm sure the Koch brothers can afford some sabotage. I love this. I always call them the Koch brothers, the Koch brothers. I love how that's the little neurotic thing they do. You work for the Koch brothers. You work for the Koch brothers. You work for the Koch brothers. When I have absolutely zero connection to them. But I tell you, they would be good guys if they were actually funding me. I wish somebody was helping us. The point is, I have experts on. They actually bankrolled Bill Clinton and helped put him in office. They just fund both sides. I mean, they've had fights with George Soros, so that's, I mean, it's literally the moron level of these people. Just incredible. So they're now saying that we need Obamacare and that it's a great thing. Absolutely off the chart. Insane. Oh, boy. Obama asked Americans to be a part of Team Obamacare. I told you it's now going to be a process. That's another article up there by Steve Watson. I guess he wrote 2 articles back to back. Obama asked Americans to be part of Team Obamacare. See, I told you, now we've all got to work towards the free, and national service, and it isn't free. See, that's collectivism. Oh, you didn't know you're a slave now? No, you just thought you got everything free. They could take all the wealthy and rich people's money that's actually in the U.S., and it wouldn't fund the government for 1 year. What it does is give the globalists opposition to their takeover and economic groups they've got to compete with, so that's why they want to shut it down. The goal is shut down your prosperity, dumbos. And then you could only go to government for select handouts, and the government can pick the winners. They want a monopoly, dumbos. I'm talking to Obama supporters. Stop being such incredibly stupid morons. I know you got some free stuff before. That was in the domestication process, dumbasses. Excuse me, I shouldn't talk like that. I apologize. God help me. I just have to, I mean, you are the dumbest sacks of crap. Excuse me. I mean, I'm telling you, they're ripping the country apart. It's a giant scam job, and I knew you would still suck your thumbs and think it was a good deal for you and drag me and my family down a rat hole with you towards poverty. I love this country, and I care about you, and I want you to have a chance and a future. You idiots. And then you sit there talking about how we're with the Koch brothers. I've actually had people I know, like, lift their finger and go, you like Rand Paul. That means you're secretly with the Koch brothers. I'm like, Rand Paul barely beat the gun bill. Rand Paul's against arming al-Qaeda in the Syria war. He's like good on everything. Yeah, he goes and eats dinner with the elitists so they don't kill him. He's actually trying to change things, trying to be a statesman, trying to be a diplomat from the liberty movement. Everybody can just find something to talk about. Great. Well, nothing but Dianne Feinstein up there. So start a civil war and put our ass in, put our butts. I'm sorry, I'm really in a bad mood. Put our hind ends in FEMA camps is the goal. The weathermen raised Obama. They cannot wait to get us in there and murder our families in front of us. I'm telling you. Alex Jones here. And I want to tell you about a longtime friend of the show, My Patriot Supply. As you might remember, this is the company that stood up to the DHS and exposed FEMA's secret plan to begin hoarding emergency survival food. It has always been my belief that it's key to stand behind companies who share the same values as their fellow patriots. My Patriot Supply brings us their exclusive Patriot Pantry brand, along with many other fine preparedness products. I personally store and use their high-quality products. It tastes great, and it's easy to store for up to 25 years. For a limited time, you can save $50 instantly on a 4-week supply of food, along with other special offers. Visit mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today. With the New World Order making rapid advances on every front, it is essential to prepare with My Patriot Supply today.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
So, you've decided to get prepared. You're not sure that a case of ramen and a couple of granola bars under your bed will cut it as long-term food storage anymore. You're in luck. At Emergency Essentials, we have all the resources to get you started. From 3-day emergency bug-out bags to year supplies of food and everything in between. Call Emergency Essentials at 800-999-1863 or visit beprepared.com. The choice is clear. Be unprepared or beprepared.com.
Curious about what comes next? Next is the feeling of vulnerability you get after you arrive home to discover your house has been ransacked by burglars. Fool the bad guys with a new improved fake TV. You asked for it, we listened, and we made our new fake TV 3 times brighter than our previous model. The brightness of our new fake TV is equivalent to a 40-inch TV. It simulates the color and motion of a real TV while you're away from home. And when burglars think someone is home watching television, they're likely to pass your house and move on to an easier target. The new, brighter fake TV is only $39.95 and includes free shipping. Go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388 or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
I want to explain something. We're in a paradox where there's still large vestiges of the old Republic left and a free speech, but there's an intimidation of the press, arresting, coming after people. We're still armed in many areas, but they're arming against us. They're openly training for war with us. We're in the same position Patrick Henry was in when he said, these weapons are for us. They're amassing these armies. They're training to take us on. They say they are. They're going to come and take our guns. They're going to indenture us as slaves. Boom, it started. And I'm here. I screw around and have some fun because I can't stay serious, all the time and not go crazy. But, I mean, we are just, I can't believe how openly evil it is and that more people aren't totally freaking out. I mean, folks should be freaking out. Instead, most people I talk to, even cops and some military, they go, I know you're right. Well, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And we're talking quietly. You better stop talking quietly. I mean, these are criminals. They're illegitimate, bellying up through pure intimidation, hoping we just bow down. And if we don't stand, it's all over, folks. It's that simple. People say, well, you should do this better, do that better. Look, I never wanted to be a leader. I never expected all this to happen. They tried to ban a bunch of our guns in Texas. I saw them taking farmers' property and not paying for it. And I'd already read a lot of history books and knew it was tyranny, and I got involved 20 years ago. I'm just a regular guy who is not going to be a slave and has an instinct to fight back. And, folks, I believe in you. I believe you have that same instinct. You're going to have to get aggressive, talking to people, doing whatever, and not complying, not bowing down. You see cops, drive over to them. Start asking them what's going on. They'll have their mouth open that you would dare pull up at a coffee shop and talk to them. Or they might go, oh, I know what's going on. Hey, how you doing? Let's get some. You'll find out. A lot of them are good. A lot of them are bad. If they're arrogant and weird, go, hey, aren't you a servant? I just want to talk to you. No, that federal training's really got to you. And a lot of times they'll kind of go, oh, actually, you're right. Yeah, I was just kind of, yeah. Or if they're rude to you, you get their name, their badge, you go visit the police chief. And if he doesn't see you, you wait till he has a public event, and you go talk to him. The mafia comes and talks to people and gets in people's faces and threatens them. We come as the citizens and say, hey, you stop pushing us around. That's why they want first contact with us, these checkpoints and things, to get us bathed and baptized in slavery. Cops, you're bathing your family in slavery. Oh, they'll always have some cover story of why you're doing a checkpoint or why you're raiding something illegally or why you're doing this or that or why you're violating the Constitution. They're going to get you used to violating the Constitution. They're going to flip it around on you and your family. They're going to turn that gun around. That's already happened. Let's go to Mike in Denver. You're on the air. Last caller I have time to go to. Sorry to the others. Go ahead, Mike.
Alex, real quick. With gun confiscation, they have no other choice. They're going to have to try to get the guns. Because there are too many people who are getting to the point where they can't feed their families, and they're going to take action.
That's right. That's right. Going for the guns will be the false flag because it will start a civil war. I mean, they know it will start a civil war. It will kill unbelievable amounts of citizens and cops and military. So people better be reaching out to military and police so that we don't have to have a war with them. I mean, I don't have some fantasy about being in a war. I've been around enough. I'm old. I don't want this, but I am not bending over for Obama. It's not happening. Go ahead. I appreciate your call. Yeah, no, Mike made a good point. Got time for one more then. Zach in Ohio, go ahead.
Hey, I had a question about a year ago. You covered an article from Pravda by Stanislav Mishin.
Yeah.
About about warning us about the same thing that happened in Russia happening here. And I was wondering what you mentioned getting him on, and I was wondering what your thoughts are.
That's a great point. Say his name again. I remember what was the headline? We'll try to get him on.
Well, his name was Stanislav Mishin, and he wrote for Pravda, the Russian magazine, the old communist mouthpiece.
Yeah, now warning America to be Christian and libertarian, not to be communist. I remember the article. I know when Pravda's saying, watch out, you know you're in trouble. I mean, the whole world can see what's got itself around us. I mean, we're in trouble, folks. We got to get it off of us. It's like a giant demon sucking our blood out. I mean, come on, people. George Washington's bad.
Today.
They teach the Army that.
Protecting your home with a security system is a must. But when it comes to protecting your family, your home, and belongings, there's no need